Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
Did you hear what I said? There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. Stupid is being nice. Stupid is being nice.
Hold on, I gotta add something in here. Yeah, alright. Anyways, Matt will be joining us in a little bit, but while we're, this is another show, everybody, so while we're doing the show, I need your guys' support during the show to help support the channel. Usually when we have guests on, you guys completely forget about supporting the channel, which is kind of disheartening. It makes it, that's one of the reasons it's hard to have guests on, because you guys just, for some reason, it just disappears at that point. So we've got, I just got our numbers from Identifinders International here. And so look at this right here. This year so far, well, right now we have 18,255 in the fund, and we've given Identifinders International 109,050 bucks over the years. That's pretty cool, all the way back to January of 2021. So that's pretty amazing, right? And we're currently starting the show off at absolutely zero all the way across the board, so we're going to need you guys' support. There is no ad revenue on these live streams. The video I made again today absolutely did terribly, yet again. I don't know what to tell you guys, but that's it. I wish they do better. If I could get 50,000 views or something, it might make a difference, but I get 6. It's crazy. So anyways, Matt should be signing on here in a little bit. We'll just kind of go over some of the stuff he's been covering, etc. Right. I heard Officer Tatum, that guy, he said that the FBI said that he didn't disassemble his rifle. I don't know if they've ever put something like that. The FBI has never confirmed anything like that. Have you guys seen anything like that? He didn't disassemble it after the shooting, but I think they think he did disassemble it prior to, shooting, like in that little cove area. He's a guy, he's a YouTuber. Zozo? I mean, what do you mean? I don't get it. Let's see. Now, it gives you faith in what? Yeah. And thank you up there to Papa Dodd or something. Right. Man, I hope we do better than what we're doing right now tonight. We are currently at 1 channel membership and $2 on the super chats. All right, we whenever guests come on, there's almost no support for the channel, so we need to make some hay when there's nobody around. Let's see. Yeah, it sucks, Paula. That's what he's a freaking barbarian. Yeah, Matt, he's a YouTuber that he's made little like experiment videos where he put the, you know, he found somebody that was kind of thin and looked sort of like Tyler Robinson, and was able to put a rifle. You couldn't even tell he had it other than he'd limped and stuff like that. Well, you're not supposed to know until he comes on the show, you know. I mean, people who have been watching YouTube probably, this case on YouTube might know who he was. Figured people would just know. Plus the link's in the description. It's obvious they're going to track his phone, you guys. We don't need to have people confirming that. Obviously, he had a phone with him. They're going to track that information. We don't need to have anything confirmed like that. It's like confirming the autopsy. I mean, what in the God's name were people confirming that an autopsy was done? I mean, that's just foolishness, really. Yeah, that's what I said, Cody. I just said that exact same thing. Yeah, it doesn't matter, Cody, if you believe anything. You don't have to believe a damn thing. You're going to be wrong when all the dust settles in this case. This case is obvious. Tyler Robinson is the killer. It's 100%. There is no doubt about it whatsoever. There isn't anything that's confusing or doesn't make sense. It all makes complete sense. The only people who say it don't make sense are ones that want to believe in a conspiracy, and that's it. Because there's nothing about this case that doesn't make sense. All right. Right. Let's see. Looked at the person I think you're referring to. Clearly was not. Well, hey, listen, David, you're incorrect. Okay. The guy in surveillance footage is Tyler Robinson. The still shots is Tyler Robinson. I'm sorry for your confusion. Yeah. But yeah, you guys, I need your guys' support on the channel tonight. We're starting off absolutely horrendously. So if you have the ability to support the channel, I would appreciate it. The channel relies on you guys. And that's it. If you like to have these shows keep going on, then that's what needs to be happening when we do the live streams. Let's see. Not sure what's happening tonight. What makes tonight different than another night? Who knows? Yeah, I do. I mean, I try to put the case together. I've done complete timeline videos where it shows each of the surveillance shots, where he is, connecting it to the other ones. It's just absolutely crystal clear, this case. I've covered a lot of cases. This one's one of the most damning cases I've ever seen. And then you get these clowns that show up in the chat and go, oh, you're kidding me, right? No, I'm not. I'm actually not kidding you. I think this is the most incredibly damning case for a person, Tyler Robinson, I've ever seen ever in my life covering cases. This is absolutely just a no-brainer at this point. Now, you can sit there and go, I don't believe the FBI or do anything. You know, that's to your own peril, okay? You're going to be wrong, and you'll be ashamed of yourself. You know, having the default of, hey, never trust the FBI or that's just ludicrous, you guys. Ludicrous. You know, I've actually had the FBI help me out on some cyber bullshit sometimes, you know. So it's not like they're just these people over there, there's always a conspiracy. It's ridiculous. Hey, thanks, Michelle Imhausen. Hey, we for a moment there we had 666 views. Nobody knows what that means, David. Just typing in "take a seat" with a question mark. Nobody knows what that means. I'm waiting for Matt Kester to sign in. We're just gonna, we'll come on, we'll talk about some of the stuff he did, and then maybe after a while I'll just, he can take off or whatever, and I'll do call-in show or something, but definitely need to get the support up for the show tonight. Hey, thanks, John Mitchell. There are autopsy results. According to Tatum, he said that there's autopsy results. That they know the angle the bullet went in. They know everything. They've recovered the bullet, etc., etc., etc. All the fragments. They know where it lodged. I've been telling you guys this forever. There is no doubt that Tyler Robinson shot. Now, the bullet didn't do what a lot of people, claim to expect it to do. And so I guess we have to wait and see, either way, he's the shooter. So it's like, we just have to figure out to satisfy the nut jobs out there, like why it did what it did when it went in. Okay, it isn't like, well, he didn't shoot because a 30-06 would do blah, 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 blah. I'm so sick of hearing that from people. You guys are ridiculous people. We've already looked it up. It's not 100% anything at all times. But people want to claim that because it adds mystery and, sort of confusion to something that is one of the most obvious cases in the history of mankind. He planned the killing really well. He just didn't plan anything else out at all. He thought he could just jump off the roof, get in his car, and get the hell out of there. There is no exit wound, you guys. There is no exit wound. It entered the front of his neck. I watched the first episode of the Ellen Greenberg documentary. All right, you guys, but what do I need to do on the show tonight for you guys to support the channel? We've only got 2 channel memberships gifted, and we're at $13, okay? We need to get the ball rolling in here tonight to make it worth doing the live streams, okay? So thanks, Dixie Hippie there. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, Jesus. No, it looks like he's here. Hold on a second. How are we going to do this? Guess I'll just put him on the... Maybe this one. All right. There he is. It's Matt Kester.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
The experiment guy. He's out there doing all the different experiments on YouTube related to the Charlie Kirk case. But hey, it's nice to meet you actually visibly in person.
Yeah, same.
How are you doing? I mean, I know we've been trying to get this thing going and, sort of last minute sort of thing. I mean, I guess, we were planning on it today, but I forgot that I actually had a golf round that I never even remember them now because I'm so busy. And they go, great. I go, oh, crap, So that got over at 5:45 or so, and maybe 6 actually. I did shoot. I shot an 80 or 79 really because the guy gave me the putt, and then they go, no, you got to putt it, and then I sort of jabbed at it, and I don't know what happened. He gave me the putt, but then I hit it anyways, and then I missed it. So I was like, okay. So it's either a 79 or an 80, but wasn't. I had 2 double bogeys in there. Anyways, what were you doing?
Well, I was here today, and I was working on some gunshot audio thing that I had been down for the last 2 days. And
we got some weird echo thing going on. Let me fix this. Hold on. I just realized it's going to be echoing. All right. How about now? Is it better now? Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I got no feedback here.
Okay, good. I forgot to put it on echo cancellation.
Yeah, so I was running down because something that got buried when this first came out was Came out the very next day. CNN ran a little blurb on it. They had it on the broadcast, and then they published it online. But there's a guy, he's a professor at Montana State University who does forensic gunshot audio analysis, and he had already on September 11th concluded that it was a supersonic rifle bullet from a range of what he had estimated with the audio recordings he had access to at about 150 meters. So I was running down this rabbit hole for the last few days, trying to figure the math and everything out and trying to put it into a spreadsheet. And I kind of hit a wall because the audio that you're getting there is not that great. So it's compressy, choppy. It's not really accurate. About the only thing I could conclude was it is definitely a supersonic rifle bullet from a range of at least about 250 to 300 feet or beyond. Definitely not a handgun. Definitely not an explosive charge on his chest.
I mean, wouldn't you have to have it recorded from right at the stage to know that, though? Like, if you were in the middle, how would you know if it was 150?
Well, I was experimenting. I had Google Earth up. I was pulling angles and bearings and trying to like find the known positions of cameras where they were, and then time the relationship of the supersonic transit of the bullet to the actual time that you hear the muzzle report. And the math's way over my head, man. I was a political science major, so.
Yeah, you know what you do? You just type it in ChatGPT. It's amazing the math it comes up with.
I was leaning on it heavily. I think I must have went through about 20 different, having it generate a sheet with all the math and then try to explain it to me to where I was just entering everything in. But it gives you the opportunity too to kind of test some other variables in there, like the gunshot of a handgun that close. Just the sound profile, number one, doesn't add up when you look at it in the waveforms, because I was pulling them out, putting them into Audacity, timing it by the milliseconds every time you saw a peak, and a lot of the background noise that was going on there really interfered with everything, so it was hard to find the second peak necessarily. Yeah.
Well, for those of you who haven't seen Matt out there, he has a channel. I put it in the underneath my description of the video. His channel is right there, Matt Kester. He's one of the few people that uses his actual freaking name, you guys, like me, for God's sakes. Everyone else has some weird fake name. At least I think that's his real name. Yeah. But there's people out there that use fake names all the time, and they say whatever the hell they want because nobody can find out who they were. But yeah, he's been doing these like really kind of interesting things, especially regarding, like, you know, he did these experiments. He found a skinny kid that looks kind of like, you know, body wise like Tyler Robinson. He fit the gun. Broke it down, fit it in there in his pants, and it, basically walks exactly the same way. You can't really see it. He's done other things where the towel, he's running around with the towel, with the rifle, how maybe you would hide the rifle inside the towel. Let's see, what are the other ones? He's done like so many different ones, different shots. With
taking it apart, putting it back together, proving it's still accurate.
Yeah, because you left the scope on that portion of it, right? So you're not adjusting that. You're just putting back the stock with the barrel. I mean, the barrel with the, I guess that is the stock, right?
Yeah, the barrel and the receiver group just drop into the stock, and the scope is already aligned on the axis of the barrel and the receiver. So as long as you don't really bump the scope while you're doing whatever you're doing, you're not going to throw the zero off.
Yeah, and it took you, I think it was only a minute to put it back together, and he had 5. But I was listening to Officer Tatum, you know that guy? Have you ever watched him?
I think I've seen him a couple times. Yeah, he was on was it on Ruby?
He's a black guy that he's Turning Point USA, does a lot of stuff for them too, but he has his own he has his own YouTube channel. It's like Officer Tatum, I think it's called. And he's a big guy, kind of stocky.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he mentioned he said that the FBI said that he didn't take the gun apart or something. I mean, I'm like, where's this? I've never seen anybody say that. The FBI, nobody said that, and I think what he might be talking about is after the shot, it wasn't taken apart, right? Because obviously, it seems like, I mean, that's a pretty long rifle. I think it'd be sticking out without taking it apart. I mean,
we tried putting it in the pants and walking around with it complete, and it's just not possible. You can't bend your knee. If you've got the buttstock clear up underneath your arm, the barrel is clear down below your knee. So anytime you try to move that leg, the flex just clearly shows the barrel poking out.
Did you try it where you put it behind your leg?
I did.
With the back underneath the backpack,
I tried to do that once. It didn't look right from the back, and the motion that you look when you see him moving, he's still got hip flexion going back. It's not forward. And then I had 2 different people send me pictures of the right front where he looks like he has the outline of the cell phone, but if you look on the photo, like where he's right by the stairwell or whatever, and you can clearly see his front right thigh in his photo, and there's where the outline of the cell phone normally is. If you look below that, there's actually a little bit of shelf, and that's the butt stock of the rifle, and he's got the rest of it carried up into his chest. And
it's weird, but I sort of viewing it like where he has the barrel. I thought maybe it was down the back of his leg to the knee, and then kind of goes up through the back, and then that's why he has to swing. The leg just kind of swings forward because he can't really bend the knee, and it can't swing that far even because it's sort of like a splint. But I guess it's the same effect, really, even if it's in the front or the back.
And the barrel, like what we kind of came up with, was it's directly just online on the side of his body going down his hip, and that gives you the ability to keep the scope on it and have it kind of concealed up underneath your arm. Yeah,
so the barrel's on the left-hand side, and the scope's kind of,
it's still attached to the receiver underneath the clothes. I wished I had a photo ready to pull up for you.
I mean, I can actually load up your video. Can we put it over here on the side and just kind of look at some of it?
Through it.
Let's see. Where is it? I think it's the one where there's the kid. This one right here. Hold on.
100% John Mitchell.
This is the one, right? Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing, you guys. I mean, look. So this is how you have it set up, right? Just like this. So I mean, I think it might be exactly how you have it. I mean, you can still put the cell phone in the front pocket, right? Because that's where he put it when he was at the top of the stairs. Is that still possible?
Probably, or that photo is so grainy you really can't tell. I mean, if I was doing it, I'd have taken the cell phone out and put it in my back pocket just to keep the profile down.
Yeah, so this guy is sort of thin, like
he's about 6'1", 140.
Let's see. Right, so that's how you have the barrels down his leg.
We just had it hanging there just to kind of show, and obviously I grabbed him and was like, hey, get over here and we'll try this out. So we didn't have enough time to make sure we had a belt or anything, but being prepared, having all that time that he had, or the shooter had, he could have figured out how to keep it a little bit more supported than what we've got here.
And then, he basically puts the shirt over the top of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it, like that part right there. I don't see that like it sticking out, but maybe it's more back to the left. This little part that pokes out.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of the stock there, but I think he probably maybe tucked it up underneath that shoulder strap of that backpack when he was walking.
Yeah, but look at that, you guys. You can't see that at all.
And if you watch the shooter, right?
Let me turn down your audio from this. Okay, hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, the way the shooter's going there on the right side of the screen, if you look, he's kind of got his hands down on the front of his pants like he's helping support it.
Yeah, I kind of like how you have it where he's not really swinging the right arm because it's underneath it, perhaps.
Yeah. So that side's got the barrel hid.
And then he does the I mean, like you wouldn't be able to tell he's got a rifle on him, this guy. If he was just walking around. I mean, maybe you would, because you'd be, like
maybe, but I mean, if you're not looking for it either, and nobody there was looking for that. Nobody had the presence of mind to think clearly that somebody was going to smuggle a rifle in there, take a shot from the roof.
Yeah, so here's this guy. I mean, I think it's a lot easier to go downstairs for him.
Yeah.
For the shooter. That's why I think he chose specific ways to get to the Losi building by not having to go up very many stairs.
Yeah.
I think he kind of walked over to the left and kind of went up a long slope to get there. And so, like, when you go down the stairs, it seems like Tyler Robinson, he would let his right leg down using his left leg to sort of lower himself each time. So, like, kind of like that. But he was more, I think it was even more difficult for him. Like, he had it at a 45-degree angle, his body
almost like he had a broken leg or something, you know. But yeah, you guys, you can see the scope in this one, but he would just make sure
He would have
stuff
had
like
it
that isn't
tucked inside
visible.
the pants and wrapped in a belt, or he'd have been carrying it higher up, I think, just because that would have given him more leg mobility.
Right. So yeah, I mean that was a good one there. I think that one should hold up. That one should have answered a lot of questions, and yet it just keeps persisting over and over and over and over and over to get people just. I don't know what it is. I think people want there to be a conspiracy theory. I mean, you've been following it. I mean, I'm not sure if you're where I am, but I think this is one of the strongest cases against a person that I've ever seen, and I've covered thousands of cases. Now, if you're somebody that hasn't done that, then it might not mean something, but this is just insane, the evidence. And we haven't even seen 90% of it that they've got.
Yeah, and they were still talking, you know, at the hearing the other day when they brought him out, where the state was like, we still haven't even identified all of our witnesses yet.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is I've never, it's so frustrating to me. And you've probably noticed it too. Have you noticed that, like, because we're not conspiracy theorists, the viewership drops on the videos now?
Well, I'm still waiting on my checks from Israel. I'm supposedly getting.
Yeah.
Because I'm waiting.
Well, the first ones I'm waiting for are from the FBI and CIA, who pay me to sell the narrative that law enforcement wants. Yeah, it's hilarious.
No, I mean, to me, part of this was to actually test to see if what I was being told was true, and I was like, well, you know, there's so many times we've had these things in the past where we just didn't have the technology or the ability ourselves to follow up on it, and all these pieces that I'm doing are just things that were in the narrative that I felt like, okay, I can go test this, so that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and let's see, what were some of the other ones? Let's do the towel one. I don't know if I've ever really. You have one that you actually show like how to. Okay, let's see.
How we wrapped it. I don't know if I got it. Oh, I've got the. We've got a towel. I've got the tripod over there somewhere. But
yeah, so you use the backpack. So you're basically pretending you're right at the edge of the. Yeah. Okay, so right in here is kind of where you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think after seeing what's come down in the probable cause statement and everything else, I think he may have done it a little bit different from the time he took the shot to when he took off. And I'm actually going to go out probably Wednesday and dress my assistant up again and have him walk through the entire thing. We've got a range out here. I think I can get this done at where I can have him walk in with the gun disassembled, find the hidey spot, take 5 minutes, put it together, run out to the place where he takes a shot, and immediately exfiltrate out, because I don't think he took the time to wrap it that nice. I think it either was already partially wrapped.
Oh, yeah. I think he just got the hell up. Yeah, I think he just grabbed a towel and started running and thought, I'll just take care of it while I'm running. In fact, he didn't really even hardly have it taken care of on the roof until he hits the ground, and then you see him. There's even times where he's trying to walk where he swings it with each leg as he's walking.
Yeah, he's trying to get it sucked up close, so he's got it hid from the people that are over here.
I actually think that the shot that, let's see, I think the shot actually occurred at 12:23:22 or so, like that, like right around that time. And that's when he got up, because he's right here running at 12:23:34. So you kind of figure, I mean, this is very short distance from, let's see, from here to there in feet is 69 feet. So, I mean, it shouldn't take more than 12 seconds. The shot could have even been 12:23:25. I mean, but I think he got up immediately after the shot took place and started running.
So too, because I was watching that Peak Prosperity video, the second one they put out, and he has some stabilized view from across the way that you can see right after the crack, the guy is up and gone, which tells me he didn't take time to wrap it or anything. He just got the hell out of there. So,
yeah. And then when we look at, let me see if I can, this is that long video. Let's see, it's number 51 sequence in here. Yeah, so he's running over here to the edge of the roof, and you can see, he's already got it. I think we just can't see the barrel because it's
Yeah.
so thin, you know?
It's so thin, and you're punching in on a 360 camera with horrible resolution and about a
Mhm.
7 to 8 frames per second frame rate.
And then this, yeah, exactly. In this area here, yeah, you're blown out, and then there is a couple times where the shadow does sort of randomly show up, and people act like that's a big deal, but it's like, dude, I mean, this is just
And
blown
look at
out.
all the chromatic aberration you have on the white edge of the roof over there
Yeah,
by the
it's
tree,
crazy.
that purple.
Yeah, it's not jagged. Yeah, that's there, and then look at see how this jagged look right there. That's not what the roof looks like. It doesn't look like that, you guys. That's just how the compression codec, whatever the hell you want to call it, works. And see, like I always tell people right here, like that's absolutely the rifle right there. That might even be the butt of it. I mean, I don't even know, but it goes like this. And then right there is a huge item he's swinging down. And the barrel is probably out here somewhere, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You just can't see it. And then he jumps down, and then his glasses fall off his head, not his hat. So you watch it, and then he goes, oh, my glasses. And he reaches over. And you can tell it's the glasses because watch on all these subsequent frames over here. He takes his left hand. I think you can even see the glasses in this shot right here. See that? I mean, that's pretty wild, but I think those are the glasses. And he's running, and then look, he reaches up with that hand and tries to get it on his head right there. You see that? You know, that's an error, though, in the documents. It says he dropped the item he was carrying and reached down to pick it up. Now, it's not a big error, but it's just like, you know, they didn't see it right. And then I was going to show, like, way over here, the part where he sort of swings it around. I mean, in some of these shots, it's just unbelievable. Like, you can see it. You know, I don't know what, you know, in this one, what's that? You know, like, yeah, so it's right in coming up here where you can really see it right there. He's got it over to his left side, right? And he's trying to hold it with the, you know, he's holding it like almost like a normal soldier would. And so he's going forward, and then right around here, see, right now he's like swinging it with his left leg. Watch this. Yeah. Swing, 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 swing. So and then right there, it kind of got lost with that, and he must have been shitting his pants right around.
Sure. He was trying to get control of it, trying to get control of that towel wrapped around it so he could hide it from that car that just went by.
Yeah. And, you know, none of the people walking around or driving right here have any idea a shot has taken place. He's the first person out of there. He's way behind everybody. And then, you know, it's not easy to get out of there. Have you been there, walking around there?
I have not. I've seen a lot of walkthrough video people have said.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go there, but then I kind of was like, right now going there, other than to get measurements for a shot, duplication is kind of a moot point until more evidence or more things come out of the narrative that you can really prove. I
kind of wanted to go there just to film. Like, I have a 360-degree camera and a drone, so it's possible, you know, maybe I could get like the exact look of different things from different spots, you know. Other than that. Let's see. So what other videos have you put out there?
I did that one. Most recent was just talking about a 30-06 bullet not exiting a body is not an unheard of or unknown phenomenon.
Right.
Actually, in fact, it occurred in the MLK assassination, and it's probably the least controversial thing about that whole assassination.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the things that keeps being I mean, you see it underneath your videos, right?
Yeah. Oh,
that's great. But what about the 30-06 gray? You know, they just get so indignant about it because some special forces person said that, you know, there's no way a 30-06 won't exit the back of the neck, but it's not true saying that. Maybe it's not very common, but it does happen, right? I mean,
yeah, and that's something that also occurred in the MLK assassination. Was there was clearly a strike to his spine. It hit his jaw first, then went into the spine, and then was found back underneath the shoulder. And if you're to believe all of the secondhand accounts that we're getting from people who supposedly spoke to the doctor, that's kind of what is being put out there as far as what happened to Charlie Kirk. That didn't hit his jaw, but it did make a spine impact and then drilled its way down.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just this is one of these cases that's really sort of has me jaded, and like I'm just so frustrated with the momentum that people like Candace Owens and other people have created in the conspiracy realm, because people like us who are just literally putting out the factual information, looking into like what you were just saying. It's not it's not extremely common, I guess, but it's not unheard of whatsoever that a bullet wouldn't exit. And given the fact that Charlie Kirk was facing forward and the shot came in from a little bit off to his left coming in, likely when it hit the neck, went through the neck, it would go right into the spinal column right away, immediately. And maybe it hit that and ricocheted down or whatever, however it worked. But apparently there's fragments in there.
Yeah.
So if there was a soft point bullet used, then maybe it fragmented, right?
Yeah, it definitely, it was not a Full Metal Jacket bullet. Probably it was a soft point if he was using as a hunter. I went out to the desert and I mixed up my first batch of ballistics gel and just shot a 150 grain soft point through a 18-inch block of 20% NATO. And that's what came out the other side and was just sitting on the dirt on the other side. But I didn't have any bone in there to try to introduce what a bone strike would do. I was just out testing things.
Mhm.
But if you're going to go with the military side of things, they fire Full Metal Jacket bullets at people because that's what the Geneva Convention says you have to do. So that's what they do. And hunters who have maybe killed 100 deer in their life and had to pass through 100 times aren't shooting into the spine or the heavy, dense, load-bearing bone of an animal. They're shooting through basically the chest cavity that's being suspended below the animal that's only really got ribs around it.
Yeah. What happened? Oh, you were just done talking. Okay, I thought you were in the middle. You had something else you were going to say there.
No, that was kind of it on that point. It's and you all, I've talked to some people that have been investigators that have reached out since we've been doing this, and they say, yeah, this happens a lot. Exit wounds and people don't always match where they went in, and a lot of times they don't come out because they start hitting bone and doing all sorts of weird things.
Yeah, and I don't know. Are you just kind of more into the experimental, side of it, or because I've been putting all the timeline and everything together.
See, that was the thing. Like I started to work on that timeline one weekend, and then I saw what you had going on. And I was like, there's no point in me doubling down on this. There's already people out here who do this all the time. I'll just work on this because I really only have so much more in that end that you can really prove. And until something new comes out with discovery in the trial, there's not a lot else to really go around with the timeline thing. And unless somebody's got a photo of him with the September 10th newspaper sitting on a beach in Maui drinking a Mai Tai, there's really not a lot out there that says he wasn't there.
Yeah, in fact, all the information, even the information that Candace Owens puts out, where she says, "Oh, look, he's over at Dairy Queen at 6:38."
Yeah.
Okay, well, that means he's in Orem, right? He's in Orem after the shooting.
Yeah, and my thinking is that whether you want to believe the text message chain or not, is that he probably had the intention of exfiltrating that rifle to the woods where he changed his clothes in one piece and was going to break it down and walk it to his car the way he walked it in. And then, oh shit, where's my screwdriver?
Right.
And he didn't have a quarter in his pocket to turn those flathead screws out.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. That's exactly
what
it
is. Two flathead screws to pull that whole thing apart.
Yeah, and it's I think that's exactly how it went. I don't know if you'd be interested, but you've probably seen my videos, but we could go through and go through the little images and shit. And just because to me, when you go over it, the more you go over it, the more people randomly see it. They go, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Because the people that only watch the conspiracy people, they don't even know what's out there.
No, and that's the problem with social media and everything else, is that all the algorithms that we have are pushing us stuff we want to hear, not necessarily what we need to hear.
Right. Basically, I have it just right here in a video. I don't know if you, not like a video, but
it's in watched your timeline update that you put out. Was it earlier today?
I just did one today. That was just me talking about it. And by the way, like this video here, this was at, I think it was 9:58, if I remember right. Let's see. Yeah, 950, almost 958, 957, 51. So, and then basically the end of it is 958 right there. So that's 958 in the morning. And then there were people that said that this footage right here, let's see, not this one, right? This one. See this one right here of the TMZ video? The second one. They said this was 8:08 in the morning.
Right.
Like this is 8:08, and it's like, well, how does that make sense? His car shows up at 8:23 in that same shot as we just saw. In fact, if we go to the beginning of it, like right here, that car right there is his car, and this is 8:23 in the morning.
Right.
Right. And then so how is he? Is it at 8:08? So what I did was in a program that I've got called 3D Studio Max, I put this entire street north-south oriented map into into 3D Studio Max, and it has a daylight sun system in there, and I was able to test it around, and this shadow is at 10:08 or 10:10, that time frame.
Right.
So this is literally 2 hours after they said it was, right? So now this makes sense, right? Because think of it like this. Okay, he's right here walking at 9:58, and then he goes down this street right here, which is literally this street, right? So he's walking by right there, and he's just going to go down like this and loop around, and then he comes out on the main street here, and then he takes a left, and then right at like 10:10, he walks by right here. I think, and that's why I think he was doing a dry run at 10 in the morning. Like he literally did the whole thing. I bet you went onto the roof, not the roof, but that common area up there.
Yeah, at least check the access, made sure there wasn't anybody up there, and he went out in different clothes than when he was coming back in, so he was breaking up his signature with people recognizing him.
Right, he just looks like a college student with a backpack on, really kind of a generic looking shirt and shorts. It's not overly bright or anything like that. And so after he does, obviously after this right here, there he is right there going in for the dry run, and then he comes back. We don't have video of him coming back or anything.
Right.
And then later, that's just replaying that. And then later, right at 11:45, so he probably got back to his car at 11 after the dry run, and then he changes into his final sort of the real run,
Yeah.
not the dry run, and he's wearing the jeans, a dark shirt, and a backpack, and here he is right there walking down the street, limping the whole way. I mean, you can even watch it on this one. He's limping just like your experiment, kind of limping around, and then he goes a couple blocks down and turns. So on that one, it's he's walking right here, and then goes down and turns left, and now he's going in for his final approach. I mean, it's just kind of interesting. You just can see the whole damn thing that he's doing.
Yeah.
So he walks by, and then we see him turn right after this house. Kind of hesitates, almost like he's changing his mind for a moment. But then he goes over the bridge, walks this direction, obviously, because the next thing he does, he stands at the top of these stairs at 11:53, and then we don't know what time he started walking down, because they said he eventually entered the tunnel. So
right.
What do you think he was doing on the text message? I mean, what he was doing with his phone for whatever amount of time he was there. Do you think those are some of the ones he was sending to Twigs?
I don't know, man. Everything that you see, I mean, he could have been communicating. Everything you see, like in the probable cause and the charging document, are all kind of usually look like they're after the fact things. But could have been that. Could have been checking his Facebook reels. Who knows, man?
You think it's possible? I mean, I think. Well, I hate the word. Is it possible? Anything's possible. But I think
sound like a lawyer.
Yeah, I can't. I actually can't stand it when people say that. So I'm sorry that I actually said it out loud. But I think he may have communicated when the part that said, "Hey, check under your keyboard."
Yeah,
maybe it was a last ditch effort to see, if somehow Twig saw it and goes, "Oh, don't do it," because it says on there, "Hey, I had the opportunity to shoot or kill Charlie Kirk or something, and I am going to take it." It says, so that means like in some ways, like you would think he'd want that read before he did it, because I don't know. It's weird. It's weird wording.
It is weird, and without timestamps on what we've seen, it's really hard to
it's just guessing.
place that into the timeline. Unfortunately,
Yeah, and then he goes into the tunnel there, and there's a tunnel that goes right underneath here, and then let me go to the part. This is the shot as he's going into the tunnel, and then this is at the end of the tunnel, the yellow sort of hue that they've got in the tunnel. And he takes a hard right, and then another right, and then goes up the stairs. And this is all video, you guys, and it's a wide video. It's not narrow like this. And then he goes up to the top, and then he comes out at the right over here. And and then don't you think, like, given the fact with your test that you've done, he probably went up over here because it's kind of a slow slope up.
It's a slow, gradual slope. You got a minimal amount of stairs to deal with right there. And, maybe he just cut around and walked across the grass. Nobody probably pay any mind to him if he skipped the stairs and went up the grass.
Right. And the Chuck Keeler guy, he went out there and he was like the first person to do the walkthroughs. And one time he kind of walked way over here, and there's just way too many stairs right there. See that?
Yeah.
Way too many. But over here, if you just take this there's just a slight little gradual, and that's hard to really see it, but there's just only like 4 or 5 steps that you have to go up if you go this direction. Just like right there, maybe. So I think, what do you think? Do you think that's probably more likely?
Probably more likely. I mean, think about it this way too. College campuses are all built to be ADA compliant, so there's got to be some way for somebody who has limited mobility to get across them.
That's true. Yeah. So I think maybe even this one just kind of slopes up. I'm not sure if well, right there, you do have to go up this one, like 7 steps right there. But once you get there, you can just walk right around to the front. See?
Yeah.
And I think this was at 12:02, and then he goes into the building here, I don't know, probably a minute or 2 later, limping. And then 12 minutes after that, he comes up here, and I guess he's limping on the roof too, they say. Like
he's limping before he goes into the little area there behind the
right there, right?
The fence to obscure the AC unit from sight, which obscured him from sight.
Both the document, the probable cause, and then the charging document sort of word it differently. One of them says, he jumped over a fence and then stepped down to something. The first one made more sense. It said it stepped over a wall. I mean, on the north side of a wall. And that's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
Right there. So that made more sense. Plus, it's totally hidden.
Yeah.
And you could be down there sort of putting together the rifle, I guess.
Yeah, and I think by their timeline, they said he was in there for about 5 minutes, which is plenty of time to put that gun back together and load it.
Yeah. So you think he obviously probably would have done all of that. It's just ready to fire, right?
Yeah, he probably put it together, made sure everything was fine, tried to secure everything back into his bag, got whatever he needed for his exfiltration out and ready and in his hands, loaded the gun, and then took off sprinting the 220 feet to where he took the shot from.
Yeah, and guess what? This video over here is going to be really clear. So if you look at the camera, not when I say clear, I mean, see, it's somewhat clear when he's coming off this roof over here, right?
Yeah.
You can see what he's doing and everything. And this is actually closer where the stairs are to the camera. Yeah. So here's the camera. That's slightly closer. And then this area here is the same distance as where he jumped off the roof. So he's going to be somewhat clear. However, when he gets up and he runs across, when he's over here, that's a different ball game. You'll still be able to see him, but let's go to the very beginning of this. So that's him quite a ways over there. I mean, I think he's even, you even have to go back a little bit. Yeah, that's 12:23:34 is when this starts. So look at that. Yeah. He's really small back there. Okay. Yeah. And he's going to be running from over there, which would make him even a little smaller, but you'll see it. It's not invisible,
And I put tape on that from the point where the shot was supposedly taken to running around that little bit of the hump in the building to where he jumped is right at 100 yards.
from where this is to where he jumps?
No, from where the actual alleged site that the shot was taken from.
Okay. Yeah.
I ran the tape to the one corner of the building and then back around kind of the way he runs. And that all comes out to right at about 300 feet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's sort of interesting because I have it, like what I'm saying is I have it from 12, 23, 22 to 34 here, just giving him time to stand up, and he's not sprinting like
Right.
you know, Carl Lewis or something. He's just kind of running a little bit, you know. So I don't know, you know, I mean, he could have done this quicker. So this could even be like 12, 23, 25 when the shot was taken.
Yeah. And the only thing I'm gonna go out in the middle of the week this week. I'm gonna take the assistant who's never fired a high-powered rifle before, and I'm gonna walk him through this. I'm gonna have him walk a certain distance with all that on. I'm gonna set him at a spot 220 feet from where I'm gonna have him take a shot at steel at 200 yards. Give him 5 minutes to put the rifle back together, and then we'll sprint out there. And because the charging documents or the probable cause statement says approximately 1222 and approximately 1223. I'm going to give him a minute to collect himself and take that shot and then run back the 100 yards to where the jump point was from the roof. And I'm going to film the whole thing. And we'll see if that's
Oh,
possible.
that would be interesting. So how far did you figure out it is from
From there to there's about 220
here,
feet.
220 feet, so like
Yeah,
60
with that-
yards, 70, 67 yards.
Yeah, with that little bit of a jog. So the one range where I've got where we can shoot steel at 200 yards, that's the closest in target we have. So that's what we're going with. If I had one that was 140 that nobody went to like this one, I'd go there. But that's what we're going to do. And I've already got a spot measured out where I'm going to set him down. He can put the rifle together right on camera. And then I'm going to run him out there, give him 60 seconds to take an accurate shot and hit, and then boogie on out.
Yeah, I wonder how long. I mean, the thing is, we've got this
Getting right
video
up.
here. So let's see what time we're at. 4:34:09.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there?
That's him. Right
Just
there.
saying?
Yeah.
He just ran from
I stabilized it. That's why you see this the
Yeah, the jog.
moving around.
over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in. And I was right there.
Yeah, so that was actually, I mean, that's 14 seconds, just that bit of time.
Right.
Yeah, 30. Well, it's actually a little bit more than that. 36 to right there. So it's about like 16, 17, 18 and a half seconds. So, I mean, I don't know how long. I mean, the guy watched him run over there. It almost feels like right when he's filming up here, you can't, like right there, watch the, is he still like in that, right in there? It almost feels like he's still moving over a little bit. Remember how they said he jogs over, he's trying to shimmy over?
Yeah, because I think if you look at it, you've got a little bit of a challenge there because you got the point of the other building down further that may have been obscuring the view, and I think there may have been a bush on the side, so he was just trying to probably find his best alignment and get comfortable before he took that shot.
Yeah. And they say he was sort of shimmying over. Yeah, that one point sticks out. I was pointing that out almost originally. But look at the, like right there, you can't see him almost. Yeah. Right? I mean, I know it's blurry, but he's not as clear. It seems like there's some movement there. Let's just play that really slow. See, it just feels like he's moving, and then he settles into a position right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, it's hard to say because of how video is and everything. But I definitely didn't see that much bulk sticking out in the original few frames that we saw.
No, and I'm trying to gauge on this whether he's got the backpack on or off in this.
Yeah, that is sort of interesting, right?
Because that roof does have a little bit of a lip on it, so if you already had that for support, you wouldn't need to drop the backpack.
Well, maybe he ran across the roof with it wrapped in a towel.
Yeah.
And then he used the towel, kind of rolled it up underneath the gun and used that as the
He could have.
right off the edge of the roof, like we don't see it there, but this is 107. This is actually 165 yards away. This shot here.
Yeah, and I've run the tape on that. I got it in a doc over here because I went and dusted off my memory of Pythagorean theorem, and I think I have that one at a certain distance. Let me go find it. It's right at about like once you account for the drop, about 420 feet.
Are you talking about his shot?
Yeah,
to
his
Kirk?
actual shot to.
I thought I did that today too. I think it was something really similar to that. Let me. I got it on Chat GPT. Let me see what I got. Shot distance calculation. I have it at 422 feet and a half feet.
Yeah,
that's kind of similar, right? Like that's what you had,
yeah.
Right?
And depending on what you want to account for how much higher the muzzle was off the roof and the stool that Charlie Kirk was sitting on, you're somewhere between 10 and 12 degrees at downward angle.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is how are people getting? When I keep doing the downward angle, I keep getting 9.5 degrees. Not that that's a huge variance, but I'm just saying. I'm getting it where it drops. Okay, it's 72-foot drop from the top to the ground, but then you think, okay, then you go, okay, if its head's 4 feet off the ground, maybe that's 68 feet, and but then the gun is a foot or so off the roof. You would think maybe not, maybe 6 inches or something.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing to account is we're pulling measurements off of Google Maps. They're not going to be absolutely precise. I used to run in this all the time in a former profession of mine where I had to plan out routing for oversized structural bridge steel and bridge components, and I do some of this preliminary work on Google Maps, but when you go out to the field and measure stuff, it's not always the way it is in here. Yeah,
I have found it's pretty accurate, but I'm sure it's off by 1 to 3 feet, and when you're just dragging it across, especially if you go from a better way to do it is you don't use the 3D version of Google Earth.
Yeah.
You just use a straight down, flat image like that.
Yeah. And that's what I pulled the flat measurements, and then I pulled what it thought the roof was. But, without going out there and putting the laser tape on it, you're not going to be actually super precise. And modeling the height, I think, is one of those things where it might not be 100% accurate. It's going to be close.
Right. But here's what I'm using is just going right here, right? You just hover over there. It says 668. You probably do the same thing.
Yeah. When I first did it, I didn't notice all that. So I was trying to adjust the pin and meters and converting. So it's probably closer to that 9 to 10 that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's 4,668. But then when you go right at the ground level here, it's 4,596, which means it's 72 feet drop. That's just ground to ground, right?
Right.
But here's the thing: is people say that there was a stage that he was sitting on, and I've looked. I don't really necessarily see. If he was sitting on a stage, okay, that actually lowers the angle, though. It actually. Angle,
but then it also brings into the account that some people are going to say, was he visible from up high if he was elevated himself underneath that canopy? I don't think he was on a stage. The man was 6'5" tall, and he had a table in front of him, so it's really hard to tell. I think he was just on a tall stool.
I'll tell you what, this is, I think, the best image by any news outlet is this one right here. This is Reuters. This one, we've all seen this, but they actually lined this sucker up where this is the shot. And,
wow.
And this actually proves that his head was absolutely visible, because this is even higher than the shot what it came from. Right. I can send you this image if you want. I think this might be.
Send it to me. I think I've seen it before, but yeah.
Yeah, there's other ones that are like this. This one, this is a Reuters. I had to get a subscription to get it, but look at this. This is literally right at the exact position, just dropped slightly, and you can see even from a higher level, Charlie Kirk's head would easily have been visible in there. Don't you see?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if not at the top of his head, you still would have had him center mass in the chest.
Yeah, but especially when you drop down to ground level, because this is obviously, 3 or 4 feet off the ground, but in the exact spot. And there's that little part that sticks out. And it's amazing, too, because, if you just I actually took their overhead shot, which is, this one right here. See this?
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfectly straight down overhead shot. And I put it into Google Earth, and I lined it up where every one of these lines is perfectly lined up So that's exactly where the tent is. So if we go over into this position here, you can see almost exactly what we were just looking at, but this is more like what he would be looking at, like that, right? But a little bit more over. He was like this right there, and then boom, just shot right down into the tent. But yeah, that image right here, I think is, I'm not sure what we were just talking about. Oh yeah, well, I wanted to know if he was on a stage.
Yeah.
You know, because that would change
really
something, but it would just lower the angle. Right?
Yeah. The only thing you would have had was it would have obscured maybe from his shoulders up, but he still would have been able to see the vitals to take the shot.
Yeah. And I mean, it is, you know, I'll tell you what, one thing that's weird is it looked like he found this perfect little corridor
Right.
to shoot through. Because when you're down there, you don't even see this little part of the roof until you kind of move over into a specific area. Do you think he came out here previously?
Well, didn't he go to school there for a year?
I don't think so.
Or was it Utah State?
I think it was a different school. He got a scholarship for. It wasn't this one though.
He could have also just been doing what we're doing right now, which was looking it up and knowing that TPUSA does outdoor events, and well, there's an outdoor amphitheater right there, and I'll be darned, there's a perfect roof to take a shot from that appears to be accessible. I mean, he had 6 days.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess Turning Point mentioned they were going to be there on the 28th or 9th of August. So September 10th is the shooting. So, you know, he said he was there. He'd been planning it for at least a week, he said to Twigs. I can't remember that name half the time, but, you know, it's so he may have gone out there.
Yeah.
And then, but also, you know, when he says, I had the opportunity, what do you think? What do you make of that phrase? I had the opportunity. That's a little weird.
Probably felt that he was I had the opportunity. Okay, I have a rifle. I have the ability to shoot it at someone, and there's an opportunity to take a shot, I think is probably what that was meant as.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the most likely version, but it could also be that it's, you know, in his conversations in maybe an online, you know, Discord, that they're like, hey man, look at this great opportunity. You're living in Utah. He's, you know, they gave him the opportunity. They even laid it out like, look, you could be right here, and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I can't prove or disprove.
Right. We can't disprove anything. It's just
that's totally possible. And as more of this comes out, maybe we'll find out that somebody coached him into doing this or goaded him into it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the only conspiracy really angle, is that there's people like online, a community of people that may have sort of egged him on, work, you know, even were like, hey, are you going to do this? And maybe none of them really thought something was going to happen. You know, you're in these conversations, you're like, oh, you should go do this. You should do this. And then when they actually do it, you're like, holy crap, you know, I didn't really think, and we were just talking about it, you know, that's what they claim.
Yeah. But you saw the reaction that a good portion of the country had after this happened. So I wouldn't doubt that there were conversations like that going on before the fact.
Yeah. So when are you going to be doing this test?
So I'm gonna do this one, because the other thing that comes up is like people will see one video, but they don't see the rest of them. So I'm just gonna take an 18-year-old kid who's 6'1" and 140, looks kind of like the same built as this guy, and he actually has probably less experience with a high power rifle than this guy does, and we'll go do that. I'll try to shoot that middle of the week and get it out by the end of the week. I'm waiting to do the test on if we can get a 30-06 bullet to not exit until probably another week or so. I got to get some actual spinal vertebrae. I got a hunter who's going out. He's going to bring some back for me. We'll mold it into ballistics gel and go out on his ranch and set up at the right elevation, at the right distance. The other thing he had some speculation on was he thinks he knows maybe a potential specific load that could have been used in this rifle that kind of fits the description of if this was Granddad gun. Granddad got sick of using high recoiling rounds. There's a specific load that Hornady makes that shoots like 125 grain bullet at a little lower power. that we've seen it in videos loaded in like 308 that hardly exited a gel block. So we'll try with that. I've also confirmed that load is commercially available in Al's Sporting Goods. There's 5 boxes of them sitting on the shelf in St. George, Utah right now.
What do you think about the possibility of it being like it's it's an older gun? Perhaps he used ammunition that he thought could be used in a 30-06, but it needs a higher revolutionary, the velocity, the centrifugal.
Talking about
I'm not
barrel twist.
Well, I mean, the thing is we were reading about it on one show we did. We went through all these different questions. I think it was on ChatGPT, and they were talking about that some of the older rifles have a specific barreling speed for the ammunition.
Yeah,
and it worked for those, right?
So 30-06 was developed around 150 grain full metal jacket bullet to be shot out of a 1 in 10 rifling twist. That was what they found was optimal back in the day. So that's for every 10 inches of barrel travel, the bullet will spin 1 rotation. As you start putting heavier bullets into it, they kind of want a more faster twist. So some of the newer ones that you see, like the one that I just bought to do all this testing with, has a 1 in 11 twist. It helps stabilize a heavier bullet better, but lighter bullets with a higher rate of twist tend to not do so well in them. But I think this thing was probably, if you want to like talk about histories of Mauser rifles and commercial rifles, it was probably, I think people are saying it was a World War II surplus import. Well, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, rifles were kind of like cars. People were hot rodding and modding them, and they would buy Mauser receivers because Mauser receivers are ridiculously well built. They're overbuilt. They can handle more pressure and more stress than what was originally chambered in them, and they're not hard to rebarrel. So what would happen was people would buy them. They'd go to a mom and pop gunsmith buy a whole bunch of them, rebarrel them into 30-06, put sporterized stocks on them, take all the military features off, and sell them to people because it was a cheap way to get a good rifle that was like reliable, durable, all these things, because it had been a battle proven rifle with the German military for over 50 years before that.
Yeah. So let's say though, maybe he didn't really know all about it or whatever. So he buys 30-06 ammo that wasn't specifically. So are you saying like the newer barrel though could handle any of the newer type of ammunition?
I mean, any barrel handle, any barrel, and that range at 130, 140 yards. I don't think that's going to really come into effect. And the other thing is like looking at it, if it was Granddad's gun, it had obviously been updated through the years. They'd put a synthetic stock on. Those didn't become big until the 80s or the 90s. It had a newer optic on it. So this was probably something that Granddad bought when he was a young man and used it his whole life every year to go out and harvest deer. And he just kept using it. And he probably found 1 or 2 loads that worked really good with it commercially that were available. And that's what he shot. And I bet if you get into this, that's going to be what ended up getting used, because it was like, okay, son, it's like a rite of passage in a lot of family with these heirloom firearms. Like This is something that you look forward to getting handed down to you, like Granddad's watch. So you're going to go run it with what Granddad ran in it because it runs well and it's been maintained. It's been taken out every year and shot a deer or an elk. This isn't something he just pulled out from underneath the bed, kicked the cobwebs off and went and shot.
Do you think it was like a soft point though? Something like that?
It had to be some sort of hunting animal. I highly doubt it was full metal jacket. And
so that's when you're saying hunting. So hunters use, I'm not a hunter like that. Like, so hunters use soft point so that it sort of creates a lot of damage inside.
Soft point, SSTs, there's ammo, like, especially I was out of shooting a lot for about 20 years until I was starting to kind of get back into it. And then this happened and I've really gotten into it. But bullet technology has gone crazy in the last 20, 30 years with what's out there and available. Back then, it was probably like some sort of jacketed soft point. And basically what that is when bullets are constructed, especially any kind of jacketed bullet, they take a sheet of copper and they stamp it down into the shape of the bullet with lead inside of it and wrap it back up. And a full metal jacket bullet just means that it's completely encased in that copper. A jacketed soft point means at some point they stop it and you've got a little bit of lead sticking up. So once it impacts something, it starts coming apart inside of it.
Yeah. And then, so when it goes in there, it really fragments.
Yeah.
So there's people. Well, there's a guy out there that's claiming that like the C2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all those vertebrae were shattered. He seems to claim that he's like, has inside sources, etc. And that the bullet fragmented. But then Tatum said that the bullet fragmented. So what do you think about that?
It's completely possible. Okay, so like that is what I shot the other day. Is 150? It was 150 grain jacketed soft point bullet that I shot into 16 inches of 20% ballistic gel. And I wish I had a scale. I could tell you what the weight retention of it was, but when I pulled it apart, I was pulling chunks of the jacketing and the lead from the bullet out of the block the whole way through. They just expand, fragment. You want it to have an energy dump, and you want it to create as big of a wound cavity as you can to kill whatever you're shooting. And a full metal jacket bullet doesn't do that. It just usually drills a hole straight through, and the amount of cavity and separation you have is not nearly what you get from a jacketed soft point, or in the case of like handguns, hollow points.
See, that's exactly the perception. Maybe my perception of it yawing and tumbling, but it's the same effect in terms of as it hits, there's a massive amount of shockwave energy on a wider area than had it been a bullet just firing right through sharply, just going right through. You know what I mean? Like there isn't the same energy on the surface level.
No. And if you go back and like watch, if you feel like watching that over again, which I don't, but at the moment of impact, Charlie Kirk's whole neck and face and his body puff up because they've just been hit by that shockwave of that bullet. And we're made out of what, 80%, 90% water. You can't compress water. It's got to go somewhere. So all of his skin and everything around that just puffs up in that moment.
Right. And then that last newer footage that kind of came out like a week ago, where it gets red there really quick, and then it's just really bizarre. But we're only seeing like these cell phones are 30 frames a second generally, which is nowhere near what you need to have to really see what's going on. You'd need to have like probably, if you could have somewhere maybe even 150 frames a second would be a hell of a lot clearer. But you need a lot more than that, Was that? Yeah, 60 frames would have been.
But almost everybody's camera is the default on 30. UVU's student newspaper had a video out, and that one was in 24. That was harder even to gauge anything off of.
Yeah, but I think that the cameras that Turning Point had were probably, I guess those are 4K, but they're probably 30 frames a second. That's usually what people film.
30 or 24, unless you're really wanting to slow it back down, because 4K at 60 is a huge file by the time you're done with it.
Yeah, and if you do if you're doing 120 frames a second, you have to have a lot of light, really, a lot of light coming in to get the same exposure to be able to shoot like that. To
an extent though, but I mean, it was daylight. It's not like trying to shoot
really bright out,
having to deal with the flicker off of LED lights and everything else.
Yeah, it was really bright, so they shouldn't have had a problem. I mean, but there's no reason you're going to be doing it.
There's no reason to, unless you're planning on slowing it down. You only shoot B-roll in 60 or 120. If you're shooting primary stuff with people talking,
I tell you what, if it was filmed at 120, then I would believe in a conspiracy. I'd be like, well, why did you film it like that?
Yeah,
I mean, that's a little weird because there's no reason. You're not,
No,
I wouldn't actually have believed in one. But here, let me show you this. See, this is what I've been showing everybody over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because I think this is just like, that's the guy that, this is Tyler Robinson, and this is a picture when he got pulled over by the cops. Doesn't that look really similar? It's just head's a little different angle.
I think he's got the same pair of sunglasses on.
Yeah, well, look at this. And then this is also when he got pulled over. And then look at this one in the tunnel. I mean, that's the same guy, right? I mean, and then, like this one and all of these. And when you just look at that overall, if you can't see that this is the same person, there's something wrong. Like you have something wrong. You might want to go see a doctor. I mean, this is like, it's very similar. Like, how about this? They're consistent with each other. All right. If you don't want to agree that, it's the same guy, you have to agree that those images of him in the surveillance images are very consistent with what he looked like in the body camera when he got pulled over.
Correct.
Right. 100%. There you go.
And then that body camera when he got pulled over too was kind of interesting too, because it kind of really went to how his manner of speech was in a stressful situation, which kind of lines up with a lot of the language that you see in the text messages.
I agree. He didn't seem flummoxed or at any, he was just literally just chatting away, talking like, yeah, and really casual about it. It didn't seem to bother him, but he also, people were saying he didn't use the word vehicle. Nobody uses the word vehicle. I keep hearing this over. Nobody uses the word vehicle. No kid that age. But he used the word vehicle in that time we got pulled over. Yeah. He literally said the word vehicle in there.
Yeah, he did. and I use the word vehicle. I mean,
yeah, what's wrong with it?
The cars on the road aren't cars anymore, so I just call them vehicles instead of your crossover SUV, sir.
Oh man, that's so unusual, man. Yeah. We've got to look into why you're saying that. Yeah, this is one of those things, like everything's black and white to the conspiracy theorists.
It's just looking for something that fits your worldview at this point in time. And when you have something that is outside of it, I mean, you can try to argue with people all day about it, but they're just not going to change on it if it's outside of that view that they're so hard ingrained in themselves on.
Yeah.
And then everybody else out there pushing everything around it, and nobody stops to ask what the person who's pushing that narrative's why is.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Like, we need to do something where we put everything together in sort of a, maybe even that Chuck Keeler guy who's been there, walked around. We've got all of his footage. Have you seen all of the footage that he's?
A little bit.
On my channel.
I've seen a couple of the walkthroughs that you put up there with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's some pretty, I really like, let me just play the one. I think it's when he goes into the, let's see. It's hard to find these because this one. So this one is just kind of just shows you the whole damn thing. So this is right where the surveillance was, and then he walks down the street. Then he takes a right after, like right here, right after that house, and then he goes down to the tunnel. I'm just going to walk all the way down there.
You're still on the split screen.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's what I do this a lot. That's probably the biggest thing that I do over and over and over again. All right, we'll go back over here. So this is right where the surveillance was. I can't turn it or anything, but like it's right here. And then he walks all the way down the street and then turns and then goes over that little bridge that we were just showing a minute ago, and then all the way to the tunnel. So I think this part here should really explain to everybody clearly what those images were. There he is standing right there with the gun in his leg. He was standing right there. And then there's the camera. But you still got people that just don't get it. And then here's the hue inside the tunnel, that little orange hue. That's exactly that one single shot where he's walking. And at the end, he turns right, hard right, and then another hard right, and then goes up the stairs. And this is where all of those 4 shots were. Coming up the stairs, turning left, going up these stairs right there, and then making his way out to right here, there. So that's just beautiful. I mean, that's that's a perfect walkthrough right there.
Yeah, it is.
And it seems like if we combined like those walkthroughs, my mapping, and different the stuff that I do, and then you can put in like you show what disassembling the rifle. Yeah, we could do the whole damn thing.
Yeah, we could walk through and just cut from the motion, the analysis to how this could have been done.
Yeah, you could just cut right to you assembling the rifle, and then cut to your let's see. Well, even before the whole thing starts, you show the video of the 6'1" skinny guy, put it down his pants and start walking with it, maybe on a street somewhere, and then you go cut into surveillance and then first person view walking, and then walk through the parking lot into the tunnel, and and then just keep putting it all together so that every single element is taken care of. I think it'd be crazy.
But it
That-
helped too because there's so many people they'll see one thing and then they'll be like, "Well, wait, what about this?" And it's like, "Well, it was on another video."
Right. They'll say, "What about this?" Even if you had everything. But you know what they never say what about this to? The conspiracy theorists. They never ask them a question. They're just golden, everything.
It's unfortunate, man. And the nature of the beast with the social media, people just chase the views and the clicks, or it's within their worldview, or I think that there's potentially a nefarious action behind some of what you're seeing come out with the push on the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, what do you think that is? Just for money, like they don't have a good heart behind it, type of
money,
thing.
notoriety. They might be
totally
getting gassed up. I think too. This is fracturing the right in this country in a way
Oh my God,
doesn't really need to be fractured right now in the face of everything else that's going on, like up in your neck of the woods.
That is interesting. Yeah, I've been thinking that too. How Candace Owens on her own has fractured the conservative, the Republican Party just dramatically, because everybody's like into it, conspiracies, and then blaming Israel for everything. Where it's like, oh my God, what's happening here?
I don't know a lot, but I do know that something like this is not their style. If they really wanted Charlie Kirk dead, he would have drowned in a swimming pool here in Scottsdale. He would not have been taken out in front of 3,000 people like that.
No, I know. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I when people often in the comments, they'll say to me something like, Gray, they're just looking at it the same way, you are. They just don't, they just see it differently. And I don't believe that. I think people literally are intentionally looking at it as a conspiracy because you have unlimited content that you can create. Mm-hmm. When like you said earlier in the show, what did you say at the beginning? You said, we've kind of ran out of stuff until things come in. You can do experiments, and I can, keep trying to find, if there's clips, put the timelines together and things. But that's all we've got, man. We don't.
Yeah, and I'm not unless I run into something hard in this narrative that I can't prove or disprove. I'm not going to go interject conjecture of my own into it and confuse what's going on, because I just can't prove any of that. Nobody has sent me a list of letters or emails or anything else that would have pushed towards that. So it's just armchair quarterbacking at this point. Yeah,
well, I think you're similar to me. I mean, I don't know if you're like this, but when the probable cause document comes out, I put a lot of weight on documents like that, because those have to be, you can't lie. Yeah. I mean, there are times I've seen cases where they sort of bend the truth slightly in a probable cause document. But generally, if you put stuff in there that's not true, then every single thing that was obtained from the probable cause has the potential of being thrown out. The fruit from a forbidden tree, I guess,
Yeah, exactly. So going back, I guess, the Candace Owens thing, they probably have receipts for everything they're talking about.
You think that? What do you mean? Candace Owens?
They have, how you get I've got the receipts, and you never see the receipts. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure that the government's going to show you the receipts on everything that they have in the charging document at some point.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. And people, they say, hey, how come you can't see him shooting? And it's like, well, they have the video of him standing up. They don't have a picture of his face, his grill smiling as he's pulling the trigger. But they followed Tyler Robinson through the facility, up under the roof, and they see him lay down and then stand up right after the shot took place. They're going to know exactly what time that shot took place. And they're going to be able to time it on surveillance when he stood up. It's going to be right after that shot.
Yeah, they will. And the only reason we got to see as much as we got to see is because they needed to get this guy's face out there for a manhunt.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a real criminal case. It isn't where Thomas Crooks died and now they're flooding. Yeah, here's what happened, everybody. Right? Yeah, this is a case.
Yeah. No, and that's the sad part is that they've got a way the interest of preserving that case with the interest of us having access to information at a lightning fast pace.
Yeah, so I guess in the I'd love it. I'm just like everybody else. I wish they would release all this information. I mean, it'd be amazing.
It would put, I think it may help put some of this to bed, but then at the same point, I don't think there's a certain segment of the population that no matter what you do, they're not going to be convinced about it.
Oh yeah, it's AI generated surveillance footage. You know, it's not going to be real. You know it, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. Yeah. And those are the people you should just quit listening to immediately. But instead, people love a good conspiracy. They always say. I used to like Art Bell. You know.
Oh, I used to drive at night a lot. Yeah. A lot of miles.
The Green Fort, he used to say, from the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening or good morning, as the case may be. Yeah, he was great. He was awesome.
You've never lived till you listen to Coast AM driving up
US
93 in Nevada on the front side of Area 50.
Oh, God. I mean, there's times where I go to bed at like 10 o'clock at night, laying in bed, listening, and I just can't turn off the damn radio. I'm sitting there, I'm 1 o'clock, it's still going, because he was so good at the tease for the next, after the commercial break. I mean, he was
a great
amazing
storyteller.
I think he's one of the best radio people that's ever lived. He was so amazing. He won some kind of award too. I don't remember what it was called, but I don't know. He was great.
He was one of the greats, man. Him and Paul.
Do you have any? I don't want to like. What I want you to do is come back on after you do your video.
Yeah,
and then we'll go over and we'll talk about it. Yeah, get people to watch it.
I'm going to try to get it shot on Tuesday or Wednesday, probably be another day or two in the edit. And then I'll probably have it out and ready by Friday, hopefully. And then the actual bullet exiting the body thing is just it's going to take some time just because I got to get all those pieces assembled. Making that gelatin, you buy beef gelatin, you mix it up with water over heat by weight, 10 or 20%. And then you got to pour it into molds and let it cure overnight. And if I'm going to find the right bone that I need, you got to get that set into the molds. And we still haven't kind of figured out what we're going to do to make a neck shape. So there's a few things out there that we're still working on.
Could you get like let's say you went to a butcher, maybe you can get like a neck I'm just saying of some other kind of
interesting. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for pork thoracic vertebrae, and I emailed
there you go.
5 different butcher shops around town. No butchers butcher their own meat anymore, believe it or not, unless you're like in a little small town somewhere, maybe. But all the ones around here in the Phoenix metro area, they were like, yeah, no, we don't do our own. You can try to contact so-and-so or so-and-so. So I've been emailing other like commercial processors and stuff, and I just haven't got anything back from them.
I think that'd be perfect for that.
That is the actual the used analog that is consistently used for people who test bullets, test ballistics, because the pork thoracic vertebrae is the closest thing to a human bone that they have available without having to pull cadaver bone. And I ran down the rabbit hole looking at, there's 2 companies that make fake bone to train orthopedic surgeons on. It's supposed to cut and drill like regular bone, but NIH did a study on it because they were looking for a suitable replacement for pork thoracic bone to try to test with, and then it apparently doesn't fragment the same way. It doesn't have the same characteristics with it when you shoot it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Even if you shoot 20 bullets and they all exit, it still doesn't mean that a bullet couldn't stay in. That's
I mean, you've got X-ray photos and autopsy sketches of it in Martin Luther King's body.
Yeah.
So, and it's out there. I mean, you could probably start searching and find evidence. I mean, there's probably history of people being shot in wars with a 30-06 that didn't exit.
I'm sure
it's not out of the realm of possibility at all.
Well, I mean, it happened here, right? Well, so whatever he fired, it stayed in the neck of Charlie Kirk. Yeah. Or somewhere, not maybe his neck.
And that's the thing. We don't even have like a conclusive autopsy or coroner's report on what happened, because if you do look, I first thought that it took a glancing blow off the clavicle and bounced into the neck, because there's 1 or 2 of those videos at angle where you can actually see about a 30 caliber hole in the shirt with blood spilling out of it.
Yeah, it does look like there's something in one of that newer video. Actually, that's the one, right?
Yeah,
You can sort of see like some kind of something right there, and then it sort of go, and then it's just so hard to tell though, because it's such a huge motion. People think that there's a breastplate because of that shape it's making, but I think that could easily just be from a shock wave.
Yeah, and that's I talked to actually the gentleman I'm going to go up and shoot with that's bringing this pork spine is a big game hunter, but he's also a trained police sniper, and that was his assessment too. He was like, "Look at the shock wave. It's probably the shock wave that's throwing the shirt and everything around. Plus, you still had that microphone in there, so it's got to go somewhere and induce something in the shirt too." So
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's just hard to tell, but I mean, I think you can easily see that something, hit him from the front, and it's just boom, a lot of force, and it goes in his neck, and you see the blood come out, and I think he was dead immediately. I think he just absolutely, which is good. I mean, he didn't suffer. He just went, he's out. He didn't even know what hit him,
No, I probably had no idea. And yeah, there is a lot of force. So when I went out and shot that block the other day, I just went to Goodwill and picked up a IKEA bar stool to strap it to. And the shockwave of hitting that while it was strapped to it sheared one of the legs off the bar stool.
Wow. Yeah, I think people maybe underestimate the shockwave. I think can actually kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Like just that alone, and it might even shatter bones and stuff that you might have thought the bullet did that, but maybe it just shatters
valves and heart, all sorts of things.
Probably does more damage to soft tissue, I would think. But
100%.
But do you think it can also, maybe in the neck, it could maybe do something to your spinal cord just for the shock that goes in there and the way it wiggle, I mean, who knows?
But I mean, I guarantee that bullet hit his spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you also had the arm motion that's indicative of a spinal injury.
Mm-hmm. And this angle right here too. When you let's just look at it slightly coming in.
Now there's the controversy that the angle doesn't match up that was presented in another video, the peak prosperity one. But again, that goes back to you don't 100% know all these angles are accurate. You don't know what angle and relationship he actually was sitting at in that moment. You're just a protractor over the top of something and a medical sketch that may not have been accurate to the person you were trying to do all this with.
Yeah, I mean, I think this the thing that I've got on the screen right here is very accurate, but we just don't know where he was sitting underneath the tent.
And look at
3 feet or something.
Right. 30 feet. The tent may still be accurate, but I mean, look at the barricade that's down there. That was nice and square when all this went on. So you're looking at it after the fact, people running around bumping into things.
I mean, this is one of my best overlays I've ever done, though. I mean, let me just show you. Look at it takes a long time to keep moving, but look at this. Watch, even all the little lines. See how there's nothing that is, I mean, the trap door is exactly on it. Look at this. Watch. Yeah. Watch this. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, that's just crazy. Whatever you call it. I mean, they call it a trap. I mean, it is a door.
Is that still a theory? Like the elves jumped out of the trap door and shot him?
People still say that is a door that goes underground, but I mean, come on, you don't think somebody would have seen that? Some guy with the
and I think that's just probably an access point to a water valve.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty accurate. Like where this pin is, that's probably pretty close to where Charlie Kirk. This one right here.
And as close as you're going to get for an approximation. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just within a foot and a half, 2 feet, one direction. But that might matter. I mean, I don't think people have talked about this angle very much, though. What's the angle if he was perpendicular? You see, let's just say he's facing straight ahead, but that's not even, you can't even tell that either, right? That's the thing.
I mean, okay, so you look at Butler. This changed history. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Donald Trump is only alive because he happened to turn his head to look at something, or the back of his head would have been blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Absolutely nuts. But, hey, so, I mean, I know it's like an hour later where you are. Is it at 10 o'clock over there?
No, we're
Oh, we're the same time frame.
We don't do daylight savings, so I
Oh,
get all
okay.
confused as to what time it is in everybody else's time zone because I can't remember when daylight savings is or isn't. But
I'm all for that, by the way. I think daylight savings time is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
It is what time it is, you guys. I mean, we don't need to keep switching it around. Just
The only time I liked it was when I was in college because there was one night a year you got an extra hour of bar time.
yeah, and especially if you caught it right at 1 o'clock in the morning, right? You're sitting there, and all of a sudden, ooh, it's only 12 now.
Yep.
Boom.
Keep it coming.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, but how about let's have you come back on after you do the next one.
Yeah, I'll go tie all that together. We're like I said, we're probably about 2 weeks out on trying to see if we can get the shot to exit. I do have some of that ammunition coming. I'm going to go do dry runs through just regular blocks with it and see how it does, or maybe.
Well, maybe we'll do that one. We'll do one after the video where you're just doing the timing of
I'll do the
getting
timing
up
on this week.
Yeah, we can do that. But I think it would be really cool though if we all sort of, I don't know. Maybe I'd like to put together a video where I'm taking the walkthroughs, some of the stuff that you've done, and just, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, man. We can talk about it offline and try to figure out how you want to do that. If you just want to send it over, I can edit and splice it up, or do you want to hack it up? Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, cool. Everybody, his channel link is in the description of this video. So just go over there and check it out. He's got some really cool videos he's made.
Now I got to go find something else to obsess over because I'm running out of things with this.
Yeah, it is kind of like I'm just feel like I'm in a place where I have to be one person who's continually putting out the real information in a sea of conspiracy theorists. Like if I disappeared from doing this, it would just that's all there would be, because there's only a couple people that are covering it the full case, like you're doing the experiments and stuff, but there isn't very many.
There's very few people like in the firearm space that are covering this from like the objective look. I think Paramount Tactile is about the only one out there right now who's
he's good at
an objective eye on it.
Yeah. Yeah, he sometimes gives voice to some of these other people that I'm not really into, but at least he's kind of maintaining a level head, I guess. But I'm gonna stay on here for a while. Probably maybe hell, I might even do phone calls or something. But I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me on. Thanks to your audience. You guys are great.
Yeah, got some. They're called the Freaks. We call ourselves the Crime Freaks. All right, all right, man.
Well, I appreciate it. You guys have a great night.
All right, have a good one. See you later.
Bye.
All right, that was Matt Kester. Yeah, he's got some really amazing videos out there. You guys should go check him out. He's doing the tests. Looks like he's still sitting there though. He's still on the back. Say, hey, how's it going over there? I got him to laugh over there. That's good. Right. I think what I can do is I can just kick you from the studio. There you go. That way you don't have to sit there. All right, there you go. But what's going on, you guys, tonight? I always tell you guys this. It seems like when my show has guests on, you guys stop supporting the channel. We're not even close to the goal tonight. We are absolutely struggling. We only have 17 gifted memberships, and we're at 74 on the super chats, right? And you guys know we got to keep pushing forward through the month to try to beat last year. For the next 3 months, we got to do this. So if you're able to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. Yeah, I don't care what goals you met, Ton, whatever the hell your name is. Not interested. Yeah, that's right. Every single show, we try to raise funds on the channel. F3 Begart, whatever the hell your name is. Every single show. If you don't like it, don't watch. You know what I'm saying? I just said earlier we've given $109,000 to Identifinders International. I'm just trying to figure out why is tonight different than yesterday. It's just absolutely dead as a doornail in here. Unbelievable. I mean, if I was a conspiracy nutter, it would look like a bingo machine in here. Oh, yeah, here's some more, here's some more, here's some more. But you do something else, and it's just a struggle all show long. Right. Yeah, well, I'm not talking to you then if you did tonight. And thanks up there to, let's see, Lisa Belson a couple times there. She did 10 memberships. Thank you. I don't know what that means, Dragonette. I mean, try to be funnier or say something that's interesting. Nobody knows what that means. La Charlie, Kirk, clue that your mouth. Yeah, no thanks. I don't even know what you're saying. Yeah. No, people aren't. They just don't want to support. That's all right. Yeah, I don't know you guys, but I'm just going to call it a night myself. So thank you guys for being here, etc. I change it to what? What would I change it to? I don't know what that means, Mushy Mystic. You would put money to your hobby right. Man, I have no idea. Right. Yeah, I have Venmos. Because currently on tonight's show, we do have a coffee from Kim. Don't you guys think that would be a good idea, you guys, to put together the entire thing? You know, like how, I mean, it's weird though. Who would put the video out, I guess? I mean, do we all put the same video out on our channel? I mean, I guess I would just want to make the video because that's what I do. Just put together timelines and put everything together. The AI YouTube videos are running the experience. Yeah. Well, I don't care, SI. That's what the show was. What a ridiculous comment, man. Let's see. Let's see if we can get 12 more channel memberships. I think that would, well, actually, we need 20 channel memberships to get to the goal where I donate 5 memberships. That's how many we need. Hey, thanks, Persis. Great guest and show. Great. Thanks for all you do. Hey, no problem. No problem. I just, I don't know, man. I don't have the ability to make it into the conspiracy theory viewer number world, you guys. I don't have that in me. I'm not I have integrity as a YouTuber. I feel embarrassed to do that. Hey, welcome, FC Receptor and Kelly Ray. We're currently only at about 75% of just a regular nightly goal, if you guys can believe that. Hey, thanks, Carrie, for the Venmo. Thank you. Yeah, I do. I do trust the FBI in general. Okay, I know that they have done shady things, especially under Comey, etc. But it's a different group now. So for all of you who thought, oh, wow, look at this. The FBI is now controlled. Trump's the president. They've put Kash Patel in there. But now you don't trust him again. I mean, you guys, I mean, what the hell are you doing? I think that in general, the FBI, law enforcement, etc., are out there trying to do the right thing and do the right thing. There are some times when they don't. But to sit there and say every single time, that's what you conspiracy nutters do. You guys think that every single time there's some crazy, everything is completely fake and false and bullshit, right? It's just weird, and you only do it so it fits your narrative, so you can keep telling the same stories over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You know, I do. I in general, I go with the probable cause documents, the information that's put out there. If there's something that when I see it, I go, yeah, I don't agree. That doesn't make sense. When I say that, there'll actually be a real reason it doesn't make sense. When the conspiracy theorists say something doesn't make sense, they just know everybody else will agree when they say something's not right here. You ever notice that? They say that every single time. Something's just not right. And everyone goes, yeah. And then if you say, well, what is it? I don't know. It's just a feeling I've got. Okay. That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's a feeling that I've got. Yeah, we need, I mean, for a minute there, Alley Kick, I thought that's what that was. Oh, 20 gifted members. Oh, it was just a message. Yes, we need 20 gifted memberships. Right. But I mean, I think the daily FBI people that are out in fields and different places go out and do the right thing. Now, maybe there's leadership issues when Comey was in there. I mean, that are doing crazy, ridiculous conspiracy shit about Russia collusion and all that stuff. Yeah, that's different, though, than the day-to-day sort of law enforcement stuff that they do. Wow, look at that. China Rawson. She just did 10. Lisa Belson and China Rawson battling it out. Anyways, thank you guys for that. Appreciate that. Yeah, right. See, when Obama was president, he had everybody working hand in hand with him in law enforcement to do all the things that he wanted. But then if Trump wants something like that, oh my God, oh Jesus, it's just such everything is so wow, you guys, what's happening? China Rawson and Lisa Belson, they really are battling it out. And then FC Receptor. Very cool, very cool. Thank you guys. Why does Bongino seem suspicious? Bongino, to me, though, he doesn't. I was kind of a little surprised they put him in there. That's the only thing with him. God, I'm getting that stupid allergy thing again. Every time I go golfing later in the evening, I get the allergy. Anyways, thank you so much, Lisa Belson and FC Receptor and China Rawson. All right, should I open up the phone lines again, you guys? I had to have a repeat of last night. Wow. All right, here we go. Here comes the links. Right there. Okay, and then we're going to... What do you think, Lisa Belson? Should I open up those phone lines? Wow, I don't know. I don't think the guy that last night was drunk. I think they think stuff like this. There's people that actually believe those kind of things. No, oh my God, what? Sure, why not? She said. All right, well, let's see what happens. Yeah, I think Bongino's kind of a conspiracy. I think he's a good guy, but he's a conspiracy theorist at heart. And then as soon as you put him into a position, he turns into kind of not a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, that should be fun. Yeah. Oh, God, my nose is just wacky. Just waiting here. Yes, wackos, please call in so Gray can set them straight. Oh, I got excited for a second when I saw my 5 gifted memberships. There's where the bush shooter was, right there. Oh, yeah. Jesus. I think it's just so interesting. I mean, just, I'd really like to know how he picked this roof here. Like, how all that came down. How it went down. Yeah, that was a good rally. That was cool. Thanks, everybody. I know it's kind of tough. Like, I'm just trying to make things happen on a nightly basis. If I just sit here and hope, I don't know if it would work. It just doesn't seem like it. We wouldn't be able to do the stuff that we're doing. Do you guys mind if I go, like, take a Claritin or something and go blow my nose? I'll be back in a minute. Let me play this. What's going on, freaks? Yeah. Yes, everybody hit that like button. I've been thinking about going down to all the protests. Should I do that? Coming up here? Yeah, go down there with my cell phone and live stream down there. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Portland, but I don't know if I really want to, though, but it just seems kind of like there's nut jobs out there. I'm not talking about today. Well, where are the callers? Come on, you guys. Come on, you conspiracy nutters. Call in. I'm not going to, Gray. You called me a nutter. Ooh. Well, that's too damn bad. Okay. What does a scared mean? What does that mean? I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like if I go down there, I mean, what do you do? Just stand there and then these wackos come up and yeah, the autonomous zone. I don't know. I don't really have any connections or anything down there. Everybody else seems to be part of a network of some sort. $30-6. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I guess it's stuff's going on right now, but think of Fedora instant connections. We defeated the wrong enemy. We don't even know what that means, man. Yeah. Tyler Robinson is on camera everywhere, you guys. I mean, I guarantee you he is. Let me see what that one. Is it this one? Yeah, look. Well, this is pretty cool. Watch, we'll go like this. So this guy, Keeler, when he's out there, the camera actually picked him up. So look, watch this. Right there. That's the camera right here on that part of the building right there. And then as he turns, this is where Tyler Robinson jumped off the roof. Gray, you keep saying Tyler Robinson jumped from the roof. How dare you? It's innocent until proven guilty. Oh my God, look at this guy over here. He's got a backpack wearing all dark. Holy crap. How do we know he wasn't the shooter? That's exactly the kind of shit these people do, man. Oh, yeah. Look, he's right there. He went down the stairs, for God's sakes. Did you see that? I mean, you'd think there'd be a camera in here somewhere. Did you get that? Remember from Die Hard? Did you get that? And there it is. That's how easy it was, you guys, to get on the roof. Look at that. Is there anybody here that's seeing this for the first time right here? Like, this wasn't there, this little barricade. You just walk up the stairs and you're on the roof. At, you know, roof adjacent. All right, because that's the stairs right here. See that? Did you see that? Goes up the stairs, comes up here like this. And then this sort of brown color here is where you can just go and stand and look around. And there's a fence right here, and there's a little wall here that goes over into this area, and that's exactly where he was, inside of this. They didn't, Columbus Brooks. They didn't destroy the Dairy Queen. Breaking news, everybody, breaking news. The Dairy Queen that Tyler Robinson was seen in at 638 was not destroyed, despite the crazy nut job YouTubers out there that tell you that it was over and over and over again. This Dairy Queen right here, yes, still remains up. This Dairy Queen is still open. It is still there. How do I know? Well, guess what I did, you guys? You won't believe it, but I called the number, and it doesn't really go to it doesn't work. So I thought, okay, well, that's weird, but when you see it online, it's still open. So I called the corporate office of Dairy Queen, and I said, hey, is the office at this location? I actually read off the address, which is 813 East 800 North, Orem, Utah. Is that one closed? And she says, well, it looks like it's still open. Why don't you leave me your number, and I'll have the owner call you back. And I thought, man, that's not going to happen. And then I think the next day or later in that day, I can't remember, my phone rings. I see it's from the 801 area code, and that was them. They said, no, we're still open. The one that shut down is in Provo. Where in the hell does this shit come from, you guys? And secondly, why do you believe the stuff that they're saying? I mean, I didn't think it was shut down. And to me, it was almost similar as confirming an autopsy, because it's so stupid. Like, let me ask you this. If it was torn down, what did that mean? Anybody have an answer for that one? Well, they tore it down because his DNA follicles were in the air in that facility. What relevance does that Dairy Queen have to do with anything where they would need to tear it down? Oh, I know what it was. They wanted to hide the surveillance footage because nobody took the chip out of the actual, the SD card out of the surveillance cameras. They thought they would, a week after, would go in and tear the whole building down along with the SD card. It's just still sitting there, though. You guys are crazy people, okay? Whew. Absolute nuts. But you guys, let's see if we can not have any lulls for the rest of the show. We had a nice little rally there, and then it just went... All right. What's the next goal? What about 9 more channel memberships? That'd be cool. Yeah, Dairy Queen. The only relevance Dairy Queen has is that he went there to eat something in the evening. It has nothing to do with. It's a timeline element, is what it is. That's it. Okay. It's sort of like when Koberger goes to. Well, not even Koberger. It's sort of like in Idaho case that they got an Uber ride home from somebody. Okay, well, has nothing to do with the case. They got an Uber ride from the grub truck. Okay, great. It has nothing to do with the case at all. It's just an element. Why do you keep trying to get individuals to call in, Kelly? Like, Are they all conspiracy theorists? Yeah, I mean, those things, when he said Albertsons and Costco, that's not even, I mean, I guess it's sort of similar, but not really. I mean, because at least Tyler Robinson's still in Orem, and he's still trying to get the rifle and towel, where Koberger's he's done. He's just doing something else. It's not really a timeline element, even. I mean, sort of. How does this remind you of Enemy of the State? The Old Green Man. Hey, thanks, Suz F. You should change your name to Sus F. Oh, man. Sus as F. You change it to Sus as F. Hey, Columbus Brooks, that's irrelevant to anything. Okay. My God, you guys are just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Hey, the plane did turn off its radar, you guys, when he put weapon together to screwdriver. Yeah, what does that have to do with anything? The plane did turn off radar when he put the weapon together, no screwdriver. What a ridiculous sentence that is. There isn't nothing, no element of that made sense. Let's see. For Tyler. Listen, Bob. Where are the conspiracy nutters? Call in. Make your case. I'm sure it makes a lot of sense.
You are curious being. See you around. Bye.
Yeah. Troll house, screwdriver Evans. Wow. Yeah, we know there's a screwdriver on the roof. It had his DNA on it. Tyler Robinson's DNA on it. Next! Tatum said that the FBI is claiming. He said, I don't think he's telling. He's not lying. He's not remembering correctly. The FBI has never said that he didn't assemble the rifle on the roof. They never said that. So I don't know where the hell he's getting that from. He's just saying it. It's not been confirmed by the FBI or anything like that. I've been following the case just as closely as he has, and that's not. I haven't seen it. So if somehow it's out there and we haven't seen it, look at this. Look at what Numi's dad said. Don't think anyone has said he's innocent. What a load of shit that is. Every single conspiracy theorist has said that over and over and over again. That's not even Tyler Robinson in the surveillance footage. So wake the hell up, man. You're way off. It's just the 30-06 again, everybody. Robinson is guilty. I'm innocent. We don't know, do we, Nick? I blocked all three weirdos an hour ago. All right, but let's try to get some more. I know we got to the point where I could donate the 5 memberships, but we've had such cool nights. Like we got 80 different channel memberships. We got 51 tonight. That's pretty good. But we're only at 111 in super chats, which makes it so we're really just kind of right at that little, barely cutting the goal. So if you're out there and you're watching and you have the ability to support the channel in financial ways, that would be fantastic. If not, that's cool too. Just hit the like button. Good night, Michelle H. And Frank Turek. Oh, God, would you quit bringing up those guys' name? I don't give a shit what those people say. You know, I'm going to start blocking people that put these in there. All right. We'll just come back in 10 minutes. All right. Thanks. Good Lord. Yeah, I don't care. You know, the fact that you watch these people, it's disturbing as well. Who filled up Tyler's charger? He did. And yeah, it wasn't a Charger, it was a Challenger. Let's see. I love this motto. Charlie Kirk, prove me wrong. Yeah, I wish I could be more like him. I just don't have the patience. I think conspiracy theorists, they're not good faith argument people. They are intentionally tricking people. And unfortunately, there's people that listen to the myriad of conspiracy theorists and have become conspiracy theorists without really knowing why they're one, other than that somebody told them they should be one. And then they point out all the little really shitty little chintzy facts that these people use to claim that it's a conspiracy. And that's why you have such a weak argument. There's no information at all in this case that points to another person. Okay? Nothing. Can any look at? Okay, let's just pause the show really quick. Can anybody in the chat point to any evidence at all, just the slightest bit, that there's another person involved in the shooting of Charlie Kirk at the scene? I mean, literally a different person pulling the trigger. And don't say, well, a 30-06 does more. Forget that part. Where is the evidence of somebody on camera? Any sort of anything at all out there that points to it. Can you find something for me? Just something. Not a feeling, not a, Right. I thought it was remarkable for you to add in questioning about other parties based on that white car footage. Yeah, I mean, that's just something that was interesting. Don't you think? That white car drives in the parking area, not the street. Don't know what it means. It's just something that was an oddity that either does or does not need to be explained. I don't know what it means or anything. Nobody knows what that is. I don't think it's remarkable. It's just, well, look at that white car. And somebody else is the one that pointed it out on Twitter. I said that. I said, somebody on Twitter pointed it out. I don't know what it means. And his car came back moments later anyway, so we don't know what any of it means at all. All right. I'm going to try this really tiny little goal here. All right. Can we try to do that one? My God. But he did have help. Where? No, but when you see, here's the thing, Kenny. When you say Robinson is the guy, but he did have help, we don't know if he had help or not. And that's how you should be wording it. You don't know if he had help or not. And there's no evidence that he had help at all of any kind. But there's a possibility that some people on Discord or somebody out there online sort of work with him. That's it. But you word things, when people word things as a fact, without it being, well, I mean, when I'm saying that, what I'm saying is you're saying something that is total speculation and saying it's a fact. I state things as fact that are like, if something's 99.99% true, that's a fact to me. I don't give a shit what, if you want to say it's possible something. Did anybody see the goal on the top that I just put in there? No, his dad wasn't in on it. And by the way, his parents don't know what their own son looked like. Tyler Robinson's parents have no clue what his kids look like, what Tyler looked like. And then you might say, well, how do you know that? Well, just ask the YouTubers out there that said that the person in the surveillance is not Tyler Robinson, even though his parents said, oh, that's our kid. But the YouTubers, they know what he looks like better than they do. Isn't that wild? Yeah, that's what it's for. It's to join a call. But I'm trying to really get the support for the channel. We're about half of yesterday and not even close to any of the other days this month. So I'm kind of nervous that we're going to hit a phase where we start going backwards for the month. And an assembled long gun with the scope as he jumped. No, it's not speculation at all. Numi's dad. You can actually see him holding an elongated item that is the rifle, because they didn't find a rifle on the roof, and that's where the shot came from. And then they found the rifle that the person on the roof was carrying in the woods, wrapped in a black towel, as they saw him run into the woods on the camera. My God, people. Does anybody have common sense anymore where it's just sort of rational thought where, I don't even know what to say. This is just crazy to me. What does the resurrection stuff have to do with what we're talking about tonight? Yeah. It's weird. Yeah, when I'm talking about, like, you guys all have rational thought, the freaks. I'm talking about the people that come in and they say these things and they just don't seem to get it. All right. It's not a fake death, Wendy. Your brain must be fake. Did you actually go to high school? I don't know what your question is, Nick. I'm not that interested in what you have to say, so I probably missed it. Instead of just typing it in again where I would have read it, that would have been great, but you didn't. So now, even if you type it in again, I'm not reading it. I can't stand it when people go, hey, read my comment, Gray. And I say, well, where is it? Well, it's way up there. Well, you could have typed it in again in the 2 comments that I just read, and now I'm not going to go read it. I'm not interested. You get it? It's just weird. I mean, you expect me to read every single comment in the chat? Half the time I'm presenting stuff. No, I don't, Kenny. I'm telling you the truth. You start conflating people with legit questions with those crazy theories. Believe me, nothing you ask is going to be legit. Hey, thanks, Italian in Laguna Beach. And Steph S. And some guy from Africa. I don't care. Hey, Nick, I'm going to get rid of you, man. All right? So you just did it again. You wasted your time yet again. Oh, my God. Do you think they'll release the 4? What the hell does that even mean? No, thanks. Fully elected 6299. I'm flat out reading every comment, and I'm not running a YouTube live. Well, good for you, Megsy. You know. Let's see. I'm not even sure what that even means. Hey, good for you, Todd. I'm glad you have common sense. I mean, I think most of the people, the freaks that watch my channel, have common sense. I'm talking about the random wackos that show up to every single live stream related to the case and have the most ludicrous theories and questions. They have questions on things that, hey, Gray, do you think an autopsy was done? What do you think, Gray? And then somebody else will chime in and say, hey, this mortician lady, she verified there was an autopsy. And then I'll say to who in the hell ever thought there wasn't an autopsy done? They always perform autopsies in homicides like this. I mean, there's no chance there wasn't one done. So the fact that it got to a point where people thought they needed to verify that is creepy. There isn't, when you say, see people like Nick, they ask, do you think they'll release the footage of him taking the shot? Well, there isn't going to be a close-up. I've already explained it 100,000 times. Maybe we'll try to 101,000. They have footage. Okay? Just pay attention one time and you'll never have to ask again. This camera right here has a view basically from, I mean, hell, this camera can pick up from right through here all the way around to right over there. So it picks up, I'm not even sure what degree that is. It's almost like 270 degrees. Maybe 240 or something. So this camera right here picked up Tyler Robinson. Just pay attention for a minute. Just pay attention. Running from right here at 1202. It's gonna. They describe it, and they'll show him go into the door right there, and he'll look pretty. You'll easily be able to make him out because it's the same distance as he was when he jumped right there. Then you're going to see a dark figure, the same person with the backpack, coming up these stairs, limping on the video in dark, coming over here and then stepping over the wall and disappearing for 5 minutes while he assembles the rifle. Then he stands up and runs with no noticeable limp anymore. And he's going to run over to this far corner over here. And what that's going to look like is... that's going to be that small. See how little that guy is? He's going to be over in this corner, way over here, right there, okay? And he's even going to be smaller than that, but you're going to be able to see him run. See that little shape right there? That is just like this. That's this spot right here. See that? So if I move back the surveillance shot, watch this right here. See how that looks exactly the same? Check it out. Check it out. See that little spacing right there? Can you see that? Watch. We're going to go over to here, and there it is right there. All right, now see that green scoreboard or whatever the hell it is in the background over there? There it is, right there. It was a sign. It wasn't a scoreboard. It was just a sign. So that was it right there. Okay, so you're going to see all of that on this camera, and from close up, pretty much, you're going to see him stand up right here and then run right over there, and then he's going to shimmy over on camera, and then he's going to fire. At the same time that he's doing that, that's where those two other guys were over here filming him on the roof. Anyways, it's going to be really clear. You're going to see it all. What does that have to do with anything, Kenny? What does Antifa have to do with anything that we're talking about, man? Oh, man. Jesus. Yeah, we do have good mods over here. One of these days we'll have to add some more. I don't know if it'll be televised. Yeah, he's got videos that prove it. Matt Kester's video, really clear, really obvious. People don't want to watch it because it'll be cognitive dissonance for them. Man, have you guys ever seen a night where we've had such massive lulls in here? Like, we had that nice little rally, but other than the rally, it's been horrendous in here. So if there's any chance at all that the people watching the channel could support the channel, we got to keep on trucking through the month. Unfortunately, I'm trying my best to put videos out that people watch, but they're only getting like 10 to 12,000 views, which is really pretty terrible. So, of course, that's more reliant on you guys, but I'm just not sure why tonight's so bad like that. It puts to shame all the lulls we've had the other nights. It's just like 30 minutes, and another 45, and, you know. Nobody knows what you're talking about, Kenny. Nobody knows what you're talking about, man. You're pretty clueless yourself. Nobody's talking about Antifa. You know, maybe the trial will be televised. I sure hope so. Hey, thanks, John Mitchell. There's finally a lull breaker. Why do conspiracy nuts have to overcomplicate such an easy hit? This couldn't have been made any easier for Tyler. No help was even needed for this. I totally agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's anything out there. Yeah, Antifa has nothing to do with this here. Yeah. Those are people that maybe had connections to him. Anyways, Kenny, I'm just not interested in what you're trying to sell, okay? Just quit doing the stupid shit you're making. You're really close to being removed anyways for insulting me a minute ago, okay? If you make another comment anywhere remotely like that, you'll never be commenting again in here. And as a matter of fact, you'll think you're commenting, but you'll have been blocked and nobody will ever see your comments. So you'll be ranting and raving and nobody can see them except yourself. Is asking how to call in. It's at the top there, you guys. If you can't figure it out, then you probably shouldn't call in. It's right there at the top. There's a link at the top. You just click on it. I'm not in a mood. I'm not in a great mood today. This has been a huge struggle. I'm just doing a show for the sake of doing a show instead of, you know, having it be something that's, I don't know, man. I don't know what that means, Antivia. Nobody got blocked. Okay, well, it is what it is. I just told you it's at the top of the screen, pinned. Okay, Dale, you'll have to figure it out on your own, man. Sorry, bud. I'm not explaining it another time. I just told you it's the pinned post in the comments. It's a link. It's not a telephone number. Who is next in line? Yeah. Yeah, it's still a call in because you use your phone and you chat. It's just a different means to do it, Dale. Forget it, Dale. Don't worry about it. I'm not interested. I'm going to unpin it now. So it's just hidden away in chat now. I'm just tired of it. Yeah. Wow. How much of his dry run path has been plotted? I don't, none of it, other than he turns into the grass. And to me, that means he's walking exactly the same path. Like he's over here. Not this one. This one right here, watch. So watch right at the end here. You remember the other one at 11:49 where he turns into the grass? Look how far he is away from the curb right here. See this? He's probably, what, about 3 feet or so? And then look at right over here. Look at his feet now. They're right next to the curb. See that? So I think right now he cuts across. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, why would he go way over there when he's out here? See this? He's out there, and he's looking over there even. And then he now he's starting to head on over, and then boom, he's heading across the grass. And for me, that means then he's going to go. I mean, I am speculating, obviously, but I think he's going. He's right here. So he just walked by. He's probably going more like this. He just kind of subtly went in, and he's going to go across this bridge over here. Where the other time he just literally makes a hard turn into there because he's got the gun in his pants. I don't know who you're talking to. All right, guys, I'm gonna get going here. This has been crazy. So thank you up there to DJ for gifting a membership. Then we have Papa Dodd, and then Wild Bill Wassman, Michelle Imhausen, John Mitchell, John Mitchell. That used to be the name of a hair product, I think, or that was Paul Mitchell. Excuse me. And then Paula Abels, and then Dixie Hippie. Tried to do a $5 holler thing, and not a soul joined in. Then we got Wild Bill Wassman, Dixie Hippie. And by the way, that little goal that I just did, 1 out of 10. Man, that's terrible. And then Alley Cake, Sandy Shirley, Regina Phalange, Kelly Ray, Alley Cake, Mushy Mystic, Wild Bill Wassman, Whiskey Boots, 19, and Kathy Friedmaker. You know what's crazy is Kathy Friedmaker, when she sent the 10 in, that was the largest super chat of the entire night until later when Persis 57 sent in 20, and that was the high. However, the gifted 5 memberships is worth 25, and 10 is 50, which China Rawson did, and then Lisa Belson did that. So, and then FC Receptor. But other than that, like, people, it was just a crazy Weird night. So we had Alley Cake and then 6 Kids UK, Lisa Belson, 5 memberships. And I want to special thanks to Lisa Belson again, then Kami, then Sandy Shirley, Wild Bill Wassman, Kami, Monica Reeves, Lisa Belson again, for that's 10, and then Mushy Mystic, Tired of It All, and then Persis, FC Receptor, Kelly Ray, China Rawson gifted 10, and then Lisa Belson did another 10, so she gifted on her own 20. And we can't even get other people just to do $4 here or $5 there. Really a big struggle. And then we had Suz F, and then I gifted 5. That's $25. And then we had Wild Bill Wassman, Suz F, Michelle H, Sean Mitchell, and Carrie Summers right there at the end. Plus, we also had, let's see, Carrie on a Venmo, and then we had a coffee from Kim. And that's it. All right. Not sure what happened. Not sure what happened tonight, you guys. Yeah, well, then don't watch. What a stupid comment. Jesus. Get the hell out of here. Let's see. Thanks, Nick D. What is that, New Zealand? I can't tell what's the country there. All his planning, and he didn't think about wearing a mask. No, he wore glasses. I mean, I don't know if you ever, I've seen out there, if you wear glasses and a hat. No, that's just that's not $100. It's like $5. It's some kind of like New Zealand number or something. But it's still, thank you for that. I think it's, I don't know if it's New Zealand, but it's whatever it is. It's the green is it's usually $5 range when it's green like that. They convert it. YouTube does. And then, oh, look at that. Ashlyn Cherry there. How do I access this list? 30 cents. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Why he leave weapon for the chickens? What is that? What does it even mean, man? What does that even mean? Where do people? What's going on with the comments? Man, my nose is so plugged. Can you guys hear it? Oh, jeez. Yeah, I got 28 cents. I mean, I appreciate that somebody gave me their last 28 cents, but I'd rather have you keep the last 28 cents. I don't want, if you're supporting my channel, like it makes your life hard, Yeah, it's from every time I play golf. It does that. I had this crazy par today. You guys just wouldn't believe it. Let me show you this shot that I did. It was nuts. Let's see. Langdon Farms Golf. Yeah, there it is right there. It was like just an absolute miracle is what it was. Let's see. So we go through the tunnel. Yeah, so I bogeyed this one, and then the next hole here, let's see. Yeah, we're going this way. So right here, I think we tee off. We play just the white tees, right? So right here, wow, look how cool this is. This is crazy, right? I mean, this is exactly what it looks like when you're playing out there. See that right there? Can you guys make this out? All right, so let me show you what I did today. I hit this horrendous drive where it went way over here like this. And then it landed right like over here, like almost on the other fairway. I mean, it was just so stupid. It was right here, right? And then I took out my rangefinder. Here, let me put a pin right here just so we have this. It was over here, and I'm not even sure it was that far, to be honest with you. I think it was back here. It was just terrible. Every aspect of it was bad. It was like over here. And then I took out my rangefinder, and the pin was back here. I mean, look how crazy this is. It was in the far back like this. Like absolutely the worst place you could be. But where I was, I guess it has a shot at it. But normally when you tee off here, you've like got about 160 in or something. But I had 210. So I went and grabbed my 5 hybrid, and I aimed it, and I hit it, and I saw when I hit it was going right at it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And when I got up there, the ball went like this, rolled up, and then even went in this little swale here. And I think it tried to go up to the top, and it stopped right there. And I two-putted from there because they were doing stuff, but that was a crazy par. I mean, look at that shot was just like had no margin to work with. You can go in the bunker or go way over there. Pure luck on that one. And then I birdied this. So after that hole, we did the par 3 right here. Teed off, and then my tee shot went to about right there. And the flag was just here, so that was easy. Then this hole here, let's see what I do. I hit one into the bunker right there, and then I hit a 7-iron out of the bunker and rolled it up. The pin was there, and it was right there, and I two-putted that one. Then we go to the next hole, and this one's really short, and I hit a tee shot that went way up here, but it's able to bounce down, and it made it down to about right here. And then I used a 58-degree lob wedge and put it right up into this back quadrant right here, and the pin was right there, and I made that. So I got the birdie. Hey, I can remember every single shot. Then here, look at that. There's the Tyler Robinson-like tunnel right there. Drove through that, came over here, hit a horrendous tee shot again. I mean, absolutely garbage. It was way back here, or way up in this thing, and I pulled out that hybrid again and just crushed it. I mean, it was crazy. It was like a 190-yard shot, and it landed back. The pin was down here, and it landed up here and then rolled to the back. So then I putted the ball, and because they just aerated the greens, it was so slow. Even though I hammered it, it was like 6 feet short. Then I missed that putt and got a bogey. Then on this hole here, the par 3, you guys interested in this at all? Then on this one, right, this is crazy how good this looks, though. On this one here, let's see, I hit that hybrid, but I didn't hit it solid, but it landed short here, and then I two-putted for the par, and then on the last hole here, tee shot was absolutely horrendous. Again, it just hooked the living crap out of it. It almost hit the guys over here. It was right there. And then from there, I hit this crazy hybrid again. Just nailed it. Put it way down here. And then from there, hit the next shot kind of short, and then two-putted up and the flag was back up here, though. So there you go. Isn't that wild? Yeah, I can use Google Earth. I remember every single shot of the day. But it's a really cool little course, by the way. Yeah, it looks like doesn't look like there's any 360-degree cameras out there. Want me to go through the front 9 now? the whole round of golf. Yeah. Now there's the clubhouse there. that the first one? Yeah, that's the tee box right there, the first hole. So here we go. First hole, I hit it, and it made it to right here. Almost went in the bunker. I think I was hooking everything today. Almost went in this bunker, and then, but I was way out there, and then I hit a hybrid again, and it got onto the green. Let's see, where was that? Yeah, it was just kind of off to the side, and I two-putted there. And then this one, man, that's weird. I don't remember this one too well today. It's a really neat little hole, though. I think I bogeyed this one, though, or I might have parred it. Can't remember. Then this was the par 3 where I hit a ball. Let's see, I was really short down here, and then I got it up there, and I think I bogeyed that. This one, oh yeah, just terrible shot over to here. Oh yeah, but they let me hit another shot because I used my rangefinder, right? And it said it was 137 yards, and I just smoked the 9-iron. It was perfect. And then they were like, and it went way up into the woods over here. It just flew up into the woods because I was right here, and I hammered it. And they said, and then I looked at it, and I go, let me do. And I looked at it again, and it was 110 yards in the rangefinder. So they let me. They go ahead, just hit another. Yeah, because it was so stupid. I hit it pure, beautiful shot, and then I hit a gap wedge the second time, which is about 115 yards. And so that one I got onto the green, and I parred it. So that one's kind of an asterisk, but I hit both shots perfectly. It's just my rangefinder said it was 137 the first time. I mean, it was ridiculous. Then over here on this one, again, another sort of poled shot. I think it was like over here somewhere. And then I think I don't remember even what I got on that hole, to be honest. This one's crazy. Really short, tiny, short little par 3. This one, I hit a tee shot. Look how slope it is. Really steep on the sides. Like the ball just rolls off. But I hit one right there. It stayed up, and the flag was right over there, and I two-putted that one. And then on the par 5 here, I hit one. It was in the bunker. Oh, yeah. This is a shitty hole. I was in the bunker, and then I hit it so bad. I called it an NSA, a non-significant advancement. Hey, thanks up there to Numi's dad. Gotta run. Still think alibi note is exactly that. And Twiggy had a much larger role than... Yeah, I mean, who knows? You know? I just don't see how it works as an alibi note, to be honest with you. So anyways, I'm over here. Tee shot was really... Yeah, it was in the bunker, and then I dribbled it out. NSA, non-significant advancement, we call it. It just kind of went over to here. I hit the lip, and it was here. Then I... let's see. I just hammered a... like a 3-wood or something, and it went way down here. And then I lobbed a ball up onto the green, but it two-putted for the bogey. And so then after that shot, you drive over here, and then there's this hole with a barn way down there. Now, this is really cool how they got this 3D in there. And that one I hit a really good drive over to down here somewhere. And then from there, I hit a... I think I did still hit the 6 hybrid because it was, I think, into the wind. Well, no, it wasn't. It was... I had 165 out with the wind, and I just smoked an 8-iron up there, and it got right, on the green, two-putted par there. Then this one here, hit another hook shot over to there. Then I hit a ball over to there, lost it. Hit the 4th onto the green, and I think I double bogeyed that hole. It sucked. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of neat that they've got this all in 3D. Look at this crap. That's amazing. Isn't that sweet? Pretty cool. All right, so how about just for a minute? That alibi note, how does it work? I mean, how does it work for Twiggy? I mean, what's the purpose of it? Because why would you give away all of, make yourself look guilty and put that in there? I actually took a cart today because I've had that. I had my foot was, I haven't been able to walk for a while. I've been really walking a lot and I couldn't walk and I just didn't want to aggravate it. I almost did though. I thought about it. You still do a lot of walking. I still walked 8,000 steps. But, yeah, so if it's a fake note, what's the purpose of it? And when you say fake, so the people that say it's a fake note, what do you mean? Yeah, if you walk around a golf, it's usually like 15,000 or more steps. That's why it's a good form of exercise. I did get a hole-in-one on this. My best score in golf in my life is 70 on this course. It's a par 71, and I got a 70, 1 under, and one time I shot a 72 on this course, and really if I'd parred the last hole, it would have been a 74. But it was crazy on the last hole. What I did was, this is it right here. I hammered a drive down there. It was one of my best drives ever. The flag was way over here. Like it's a double green. The flag was way back in this portion right here. And I was like 240 yards out or something. And I just, as hard as I go, you know what? Who wants a 74? So I hit it as hard as I could, and it was low, and it started running. It like hit the ground back here, and it went zzz, zzz, and it rolled all the way back up into this area where I had about a 15 or 20 footer for eagle, and I made it. It was so crazy. Got the 72 out of nowhere, but and then I have a hole-in-one in my life on a real, and that was here also. It was on this hole right here. They had it up a little bit up into there, and it was on the back portion right where that looks like the shadow is there, and I hit it. Here's what was weird about it. Check this out. My friend said, wow, this looks like a perfect hole for a hole-in-one today. And then I get up and swing. Right when I made contact, I said, like this? Because it just felt so pure. It was amazing. I go, like this? And it flies up, hits the green, and it rolls in. And they all go, oh, my God. And I couldn't tell that it went in. I get up there, and it's in the hole there. It was crazy. So that was kind of neat. But isn't that weird that I said, like this? It felt so good. You make that perfect contact. What does that mean? The old green man. Freak on a leash. What does that mean, man? Nobody knows what that means. Let's see. Where's the Ryder Cup losers? I don't know what that means, man. Oh, that was a great comeback. The United States isn't very good at the team element in the Ryder Cup. They always get way behind. That's a song. Never heard of it. Yeah. Has there been a public confirmation that the screwdriver mat? Well, it was in the early reports, but I haven't heard law enforcement say that. What about what? What about the abuse? What abuse, Grimmer? What are you talking about, man? Have a full sentence so people know what you're saying. Yeah, remember that first time, Zo? Yeah, that's why we switched to video. Because the first year we did it, Zozo and Plato had to review. I mean, I think they reviewed 500 and something applications, all written, and everybody's using Chat GPT, and they're all the same. So you switch over to video, and people have to literally talk in the freaking video. It's weird. It's not AI. It's literally they have to say something. And so that's, I think that's a good way to do it. What do you think, Zozo? Hasn't it like cut the time down quite a bit? It's Rob. Yeah. You know what? I agree with you, Grimmer Twin. Tyler Robertson is likely innocent. Now, Tyler Robinson is absolutely the killer of Charlie Kirk. But yeah, that Tyler Robertson guy that you're talking about, I think, is absolutely had nothing to do with it. Oh, 1,000? Jesus. Yeah, that's wild. Hey, everybody. Grimmer Twin tells us all that Tyler Robertson is innocent, and I have to agree. Yeah, some of the people, even in the videos, they didn't do it right. You can just eliminate them right off the shoot, you know? Way to go, Grimmer Twin. Yes, Tyler Robertson is absolutely innocent at this point. But how do you know the real killer's name isn't Tyler Robertson, Gray? No, but you just said he was innocent. Well, that's a good point. Okay, maybe there was another guy that looked like... Okay. Yeah, that Robertson guy, poor guy, huh? Let's see. Their own and getting away with it. What does that mean, Grimmer? Grimmer, can you just type one cogent sentence? Okay. Yeah, well, hey, Grimmer, the person's name isn't Robertson. It's Robinson. Okay? That's what the joke was. It was on you. All right? You didn't even have the right name in there, for God's sakes. Yes, everybody, there was two people there that day. One was Tyler Robinson, and the other's Tyler Robertson. They look very similar. It's really quite strange. So how do we know that the Tyler Robertson isn't the guy in the surveillance footage? Perhaps he looked so much like Tyler Robinson that even Tyler Robinson's parents thought that Tyler Robertson was Tyler Robinson. How the hell did I make that all make sense? But I did. Isn't that amazing? That actually, every bit of what I just said made sense. I didn't even screw up. Yes, I watched them all. One was a music video. Yeah, well, you know what's weird too? Some of the thumbnails on there, they're like trying to be sexy looking. It's like, who's teaching these kids these days? It's wild. I mean, you got these applications for a scholarship, and they're like doing selfie shots, you know, with low cut shirt, and it's like, you know, I mean, this is real. How they didn't get it from the governor. It was probably a civilian's video, and they saw that somebody said, hey, you know, law enforcement was up there getting their SD card. Maybe they went over there and say, hey, do you have a copy of that? Yeah, well, I guess not smart enough, Columbus Brooks. You know what's weird is everybody always says how smart somebody is, therefore he couldn't have done it. They say the same thing about Brian Koberger. They said the same thing about Crooks. They said the same thing about this guy. They're just dumb. Okay. Yeah, that's because they took him to the hospital really quick. The ambulance got there. They actually passed an ambulance on the way, and they just kept going. You probably missed that part, right, Grimmer Twin? Ah, jeez. I don't have time, Grimmer. Sorry, man. You're not interesting. All right. Maybe tomorrow, buddy. Maybe tomorrow. I know you guys were having fun, but there you go, guys. We made it to 3 hours. I appreciate everybody who was able to help support the channel tonight. Kind of a slow one. It was a big time struggle, massive lulls all the way through. But hey, we somehow made it together because we had one rally in there that seemed to get us over the hump. Without that rally, yeah, who cares? Then they shouldn't be watching the show if Grimmer is a teenager, okay? Well, how sad is that? That there's a teenager that's bought into the lies that are told. Why would only a psychopath go to Dairy Queen afterwards? He's just doing, that doesn't make somebody a psychopath because they went to Dairy Queen. He's just trying to kill time, trying to figure what is a normal it's ridiculous, man. Yeah, I don't either. The Epstein files. See, what's so weird is this. It's like, so the Democrats never once came forward and said, look, Trump's in the Epstein files. But then somehow his name must have been in the files later because he sort of almost admitted it by saying stuff like, oh, it's all just fake news and, you know. So what's weird is why are the sort of the right-wing conspiracy nutters still trying to push to get something out like that? I don't really get it. The Democrats never do that to themselves. You ever notice that? The Republicans love to trash and, you know, screw up their own party. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why it happens all the time. I mean, at least we have dissent where people have different thoughts, where Democrats are monolithic thinking like an amoeba, you know, all having the same, you know, they never go out of step with each other. They say the same things over and over and over again. But it works. That's how they get shit done. While we sit there and bicker back and forth on stupid crap. Yeah, sunglasses and a hat make it very hard to really say who somebody is. Who, Carrie? Who are you talking about? Good night, Ashlyn Cherry. Yeah. Who? Who's trying to avoid demonetization? What are you talking about? God, what the hell, man? You guys just type in sentences that are just... Oh, the Duck Dynasty. All right. Okay, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? But anyways, thanks everybody who was, you know, so generous in helping support the channel, even on a shorter night. Thanks for wait, what is that? Oh, you love me too. Okay, good. You love me too. For a minute there, I wasn't sure if you loved me too. I was kind of thinking, man, what about me? Anyways, thanks to Matt Kester for coming on. and we kind of went over some of his cool videos that he's made. He's got a new experiment coming up that he's going to do, timing a run, etc. That should be pretty cool. But anyways, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. I hope you guys still like watching the show. Some nights I always feel like, I don't know. Yeah, and thanks all, like Lisa said up there, Lisa Belson, thanks to all the mods for getting rid of the trolls. Appreciate it. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a... Just for Bruce Haldaway.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And for the first time, I have not seen...
Yeah, Bruce Hardaway, listen to this. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a...
Click rejector.
And a certified human lie detector.
Gonna get you on a stretcher.
And a
Trying to kill me like an crime sector. Here's my nectar. Professor Greg is gonna give another lecture.
Crime collector, freak connector, and a
Fool deflector, interceptor.
And
a vector on his pector. With
What does that mean?
Just remember, I've a temple fucking
You shut up, Craig.
I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Hey, let's play this one. Let's see. This one, followed by... Hey, I like that. I like that together. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you guys later. And I don't mind. I think it's kind of fun having guests on. I just wish it wasn't so dead in terms of the support for the channel when we have guests on. I think I'd like to get more guests on, but I've noticed that you guys have seen it yourselves. It's not like I'm inventing it in my head. Yeah, well, I don't know if she can hear me. I have a like an off my the garage was converted like almost a year and a half ago into an office. So I'm kind of and it's all soundproof walls and everything because we have a neighbor that just sings all the time and it's terrible. Or I mean, it's not terrible. It's she's just out there singing. It's just loud, meaning terrible. It doesn't, it's like, oh my god, it's so loud. So I got to get in my office. But I think it's cool that she's able to go out there and sing, and like a kid does. That's about it. Yeah. So anyways, thanks everybody. See you guys later.